Can you confirm with News Nation that you're running for president?
Boy, that would be a nice confirmation. There'd be a lot of people that would be very upset about that. But I think you're going to be very happy. I think people are going to be very happy at what I do. I was going to do something last night, actually, that would have made the place really happy. And so we're doing it a few days later. And I think people are going to be very happy, very impressed.
To your predecessor, who is about to launch another campaign. So how do you reassure them, if that is the reason for their questioning, that the former president will not return, or that his political movement, which is still very strong, will not once again take power in the United States?
Well, we just have to demonstrate that he will not take power.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
There's breaking news out of Palm Beach, Florida. Former President Trump says his Mar-a-Lago home there is being raided by the FBI.
For the first time ever, a former president of the United States has been indicted.
Former President Donald Trump indicted for a second time.
A federal grand jury indicted former President Donald Trump. It marks the third time the former president has been indicted.
Breaking news on former President Trump. He's been indicted for the fourth time in 5 months.
Breaking news, this is an image that will be in the history books. This is the mugshot of the 45th President of the United States.
The optics of this is working to his advantage. Look.
Breaking news from Colorado, where the state Supreme Court has just disqualified former President Donald Trump.
Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 felony counts.
The total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Take a look at what happened.
The next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
I proudly accept your nomination for president of the United States.
Let Trumpomania run wild, brother!
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
Investigation underway after the second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump.
As I was saying,
as you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA.
Get in there.
Let's go! I want to be a whale psychiatrist. I'm going for a job right now at McDonald's. I really wanted to do this all my life. I've now worked for 15 minutes more than Kamala.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
Here are our first projections. There, NBC News projects that Donald Trump has won the presidential election in Kentucky, Indiana. In West Virginia, Donald Trump is the winner. Florida, Tennessee, Missouri, Alabama, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Arkansas, Texas, North Dakota, South Dakota. NBC News also projects a winner in the Wyoming presidential race, Mississippi, Louisiana, Ohio, Kansas, Utah, Montana, Iowa, the state of Nebraska in the presidential contest, Idaho. The first swing state is North Carolina, going to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has prevailed in the presidential race in Georgia. Pennsylvania. NBC now projects he is the winner of Michigan and its 15 electoral votes.
Donald Trump is the winner in Alaska, picking up 3 more electoral votes.
Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin. He is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president.
Hey, look what happened. Is this crazy?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into Cobra Cast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Wednesday, and there is a lot to talk about. We did a late stream last night, and you would think there wouldn't be a lot to talk about considering we did such a late stream, yet in the world of Trump, everything moves incredibly fast. So there's a lot to talk about. A lot has happened just today, and we're going to get into all of that. We're going to follow up on the Ilhan Omar situation, which is clearly Juicy Smollett level of fakery, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. Shockingly enough, I have to admit that I was wrong about something. I don't like doing that, but every now and then, I guess I guess you just got to admit when you're wrong. So, we've got FBI raiding Fulton County offices over the 2020 election. We've got new footage of the left-wing media's hero. What the fuck's his name? Alex Pretti, is that his name? Alex Pretti, showing that he is not the saint that the mainstream media has wanted to paint him out to be. And I doubt that you're going to see the footage that we're going to show here, because of course not. Why would they show that footage? But before we, start to talk about the truth of Alex Pretti, we do have the latest photo from the mainstream media. Reportedly, this is Alex Pretti right here. Now, I'm not going to confirm nor deny anything about the Sonichu medallion. But if in fact this is true and he was wearing the Sonichu medallion, it strikes again. He should have, even with his chiseled chin and his beautiful hair, even if he was shredded, the Sonichu medallion won again. So, rest in peace, Alex Pretti. There it is. So I bet 20% of this chat knows about the Sonichu medallion. And I'm not an expert in it either, by the way, but I bet maybe more than 20. It might be like 40%. I don't know. I bet a lot of you have no idea of that lore, and it is it's very deep lore. So, but let's see what the chat is saying right now. But Dark Red Knight says, have you seen Asma's bad take on the Omar attack? I didn't see. So what I did see, I saw Asmongold talking about it. I saw him acknowledge that 99% of his chat thought that it was staged. And I saw him say something like, he thinks there's like a 4% chance that he thinks it's staged. So here's what I'll say about that. Regardless if I disagree with Asman, and I do a lot, I really appreciate that he wasn't wrong at all in terms of like him saying his chat was 99% that it was staged. But the fact that he, unlike Moist Critical, is willing to take a different stance than his audience, I appreciate that. He's 100% wrong, in my opinion, because it's staged as hell. But perspective is important to me. And he knew he was going 100% against his audience. And I respect that he doesn't bend the knee to his audience like Moist Critical. Because Moist Critical, when Moist Critical sees his audience telling him that something is the way that they want it, Moist Critical will go, you're right, I agree with all of you. And then he will then double down on that point like it's his own point. So even though I disagree with Asman, I respect that he goes against the grain. And he's not willing to, just repeat what his chat wants him to repeat. But I didn't see like all the specifics of it, but I did see that he basically was like, I think there's like a 4 to 5% chance that this is staged. And I'm like, dude, are you kidding me right now? Like, this is 100%. Like, this is blatantly, obviously staged. Packy Proton says, Mr. Innocent caught on tape kicking and damaging a police car while still carrying the same gun that helped get him killed a week later. Imagine that. We will be talking about that. Ilhan Smollett with a gifted membership, thank you, and with $1, thank you. Marmilla says, it's not homophobia, it's misogyny. Robot Boob says, this effing guy again? What's up, man? How you doing? Cole Hauser says, "Hail, Jeremy. Keep up the great work, bro. So many friends of mine are like, thanks for the recommendation for D-Day Cobra. Hail, bro. Praise Allah." That's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see you at MegaCon, man. It's going to be awesome. So thank you for the support as always. First things first. Crazy things happened today, okay? So here's what I was wrong about. I said that I did not believe that Nicki Minaj was legit in her support for Trump. And I feel like I might have gotten that one wrong. Her support for Trump, she is not doing this just for a momentary thing. Like she's put it all on the line for Trump. Like she's gone all in now. And I didn't believe that that was the case. So, I mean, she appeared with Trump today. She has been posting about him on social media. She's gone all in. And I'll repeat, I can't name a fucking Nicki Minaj song, okay? I can't name one. Know nothing about her music. So, but this right here, this is one of many things that she has posted right here to her social media.
Hello, guys. I'm with my favorite president, the best president of all time.
And I'm with the queen of rap.
Dude, do you know how upset the lefties are with this shit? They are furious right now. They are not happy about this. They are losing their minds. And she's gone all in on this. I mean, if you just look at her social media with everything, she's posting about Trump. She's posting pictures about Trump. She's doing the Trump dance. She's meeting with the entire administration. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I mean, look, this is her Twitter account right here. Like, she just is like, she's just making Trump out to be a bigger rock star than he already was. And it's upsetting all of these people on the left. They can't stand what they are seeing right now. And she's not backing down at all. I mean, I thought it would be a momentary thing, but she specifically even addressed the haters today when she appeared with Trump. She said, no, like, F y'all. She just does not care. Right here, Nicki Minaj just told Trump haters to screw off live on stage.
Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more.
You know how much I love that. I love it when someone wants to spite the haters. I fucking love that.
And it's going to motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, you know, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work, okay? He has a lot of force behind him, and God is protecting him. Amen.
So it's pretty crazy, man, how much support she's showing for him, and I do respect it. So I got it wrong. She's doing crazy TikToks with Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's wife. Now, many of you will find this cringe, as I find it cringe, but this is how you start to affect the people in the middle, all right? And this is what gets so much attention right here. I hope I don't get hit with the copyright on this. And then it goes to Nicki Minaj, And listen to what Nicki Minaj says right here. I mean, this shit is so funny. All right, here we go. Listen, this is on this is going to be used for like political, ads and things. Good Lord. What is happening? This is insane. Absolutely crazy. So now we've got people, the MAGA memers are memeing on it right now. You've got Trump basically. I don't know if this is what's going to happen with Trump or not. But let's see here. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe this is what's going to happen with Trump now. We'll see. Hang on. Let me find it. So if you've seen Napoleon Dynamite, maybe Trump's going to show up like this.
Well, my chores are done. So you ready, LaFonda?
I am.
Sorry, Napoleon. We're just running a little bit late for some prime rib. Tell Uncle Rico not to wait up for me.
So I don't know if that's what's going to happen with Trump now. I don't know if he's going to turn into Kip with LaFonda. But the memes are glorious right now. And credit where credit's due. Because, I mean, Nicki Minaj she's going to get a lot of hate. And she just posted this. She now has the Trump gold card. So she is now a legal, she's not illegal. She is a legal immigrant now of the United States of America. And how's the left going to spin this one? I don't know. So she is now a citizen. There you have it. Funny stuff. But he's racist and sexist, guys. How are we going to spin that narrative? I don't know. I don't know where she's... Again, I don't know much about Nicki Minaj. I never have. I'm learning the most that I've ever learned just today. So there you have it. Now, it's also been a very interesting day for a lot of arrests have been going on today. And that's making a lot of people very, very happy. And in particular, you see if I can find this one. Right here. There's been some arrests made. And, a lot of people have been excited about some of the pictures that have been appearing. And of course, people have been memeing on those pictures. And then we have a picture right here of President Trump hanging out with the agents. And, looks like he's about to smack something. So President Trump's having a good day. And I'm happy for him. Very happy for him on that. So good to see President Trump having a good time. Nicki Minaj surprises auto workers for Trump in the Oval Office. So this is her meeting all of the auto workers while in the Oval Office. Trump is having a great time.
Good to see you. Great.
See, they forgot I was here now. They came in
We still love you, Mr. President.
Where did they go?
Trump loves it. He loves all the attention. So it is. It's crazy. It's the craziest thing ever to see how this is all playing out. You've got Trump War Room tweeting this out right here. What a timeline, bro. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. What I can say is that I do appreciate Nicki Minaj doing this. Under no circumstances will I be listening to her music still. Not for me, but I respect and appreciate that she is showing love and support for the greatest president of all time, Donald J. Trump. So now I can't confirm if this is a real picture or not, but rumor has it that Trump is going to appear in her next video, and this is a behind the scenes shot of that. I don't know if this is true, but honestly, I could 100% see Trump doing something like this because he's Trump. Of course he would. Oh man, oh man, oh man. What are we doing? Trump free Lil Wayne and Nikki Minaj loves Wayne. He did do that. He did. That was in his last administration, if I'm not mistaken. So, okay. So that was a pretty crazy thing to witness this with Trump and Nicki Minaj and all the support. So I think it's awesome, man. It's been pretty crazy to witness this, to say the least. So next up, we have a lot to talk about tonight. First of all, Whiskey Niner says, just tuned in. What's up, Fig? Hail 199. Dark Red Knight for 10 says, Asman said anyone who thinks it's fake is retarded and dishonest. He said it's right-wing violence, even though there's proof the guy is right-wing. He even tried to compare it to Butler. Did he go that far? Now that's next level. But I mean, I'll just counter that by saying anyone that thinks that it is legit is retarded and dishonest. And so, because it clearly is just that. In fact, Ilhan Omar is already using it to get donations and shit like that. It's completely fake. I don't believe it at all. I don't believe it at all. I didn't hear that part of it, but my point still stands. That is, you know, with Asman willing to have an opinion different than his massive audience, I do respect that. I do. Let's see here. I am Brockatron for 20 says, so we know he was a part of the anti-ICE stalking and impeding syndicate, harassed, impeded, and assaulted agents many times, also had his gun on him every time. By definition, he's a domestic terrorist and an irresponsible gun owner. You're talking about Alex Pretti, and we are going to talk about that because we have new footage, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you, the left does not want this footage out there. So as we know, Alex Pretti was, just an honest, hardworking person who's never hurt a fly. He's never hurt a fly. He's the sweetest human being of all time. He is the most handsome man in history, according to the mainstream media as well. At least that's what they wanted. They wanted you to believe that he was, because they basically were trying to create their Luigi Mangione 2.0, where they wanted all of these women to go crazy over a criminal, essentially, because that's the play right there. The media tries to tell you that looks don't matter. We're all beautiful inside. And then as soon as they find some ugly motherfucker that they want to turn into a hero, suddenly they try to turn all of this AI mode and Photoshop on to make him look different than he really was. So anyway, the media is trying to spin this narrative that Alex Pretti was just this innocent person who was just trying to help. You've got sports athletes, politicians, actors, people crying, they're canceling fucking sporting events. It's George Floyd all over again. And now we have more footage of him right here on January 13th. BBC obtains footage from January 13th of a man they say is Alex Pretti. Video appears to show him spitting at federal law enforcement and attacking their vehicle. If this is in fact him, which it looks like it is, poof goes the media narrative about this guy.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol.
Kicking vehicles, screaming at them. We're only 11 seconds into the fucking video. This guy's a piece of shit. He's an absolute piece of shit. He's the definition of FAFO. That's what he did. He fucked around and he found out.
Shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy. On the morning of January 13th, our team received a tip that federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36 and Park Avenue in Minneapolis. We arrived around 10:15 a.m. We saw observers shouting at the agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground.
This is absolutely this is it. They cannot defend this clown anymore. They will try, but they cannot. This is the smoking gun. It's over. Now, when this footage from, the initial incident that we saw where he was shot and killed, I said that there's a lot more to this one. There's a lot more questions than there was with Renee Good. Renee Good was a slam dunk case. There was no questions, because I know a lot of people looked at that footage and they were like, oh, well, this is easy to tell. And then they would make their, opinion one way or the other based on what their politics was or whatever. And when I looked at the Alex Pretti situation, I was like, look, I don't really know what happened when they scuffled in there. I don't really know the details of this. But ultimately, he did get involved with law enforcement. He got involved with law enforcement when they were dealing with another problem that had nothing to do with him. He involved himself. And at that point, once you involve yourself, I don't really feel sorry for you if the circumstances were tragic or whatever. I don't care. I don't feel sorry for you. However, there are a lot of questions as to how everything happened. Did they take his gun from him? Did the gun go off? Was he threatening? Was he reaching for the gun? There was a lot of questions about that. This right here shows that this guy is an absolute piece of dog shit. He is a fucking criminal, and his entire motivation was to cause problems for law enforcement. He's a piece of shit.
During the altercation, agents fired tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd. They continued to hold the man down before they retreat, and he walks away. The man in our footage is wearing a similar outfit to what Pretti was wearing on the day he was killed. What appears to be a gun is also visible above his waistband.
Yeah, and right here, I don't know why he wasn't arrested here. However, and I've seen people say he'd be alive today if they would have arrested him there. He'd be alive today if he wasn't a fucking idiot. If he wasn't a fucking left-wing lunatic criminal, he'd be alive today. He is dead because of his own actions, plain and simple. And as I said last night, I am not against him carrying a gun. No one else with a working brain is against him carrying a gun. But when you make a decision to carry a loaded gun, the responsibility for you to handle yourself responsibly goes to another level. You are carrying that weapon, concealed carry, for protection, for self-defense. If you're going to go and put yourself in the middle of a law enforcement situation that has nothing to do with you, if you're going to physically involve yourself in that, and they find a gun on you that's loaded, you're going to be treated completely different. You are a fucking idiot. He lived like an idiot and he died like an idiot. And it's his own decisions that brought him to this place and no one else's.
Here, he continues to stand at the scene. On the day he was killed, The Department of Homeland Security claims Pretti, a 37-year-old ICU nurse, approached officers holding a handgun. That claim has been contradicted by analysis of bystander videos from multiple news investigations, which concluded that Pretti was holding a phone, not a gun, when he was pinned to the street.
It's like you hear they're calling, they're screaming at them, they're calling them names. It's like, dude, if they were anything remotely close to the things that you call them, you would not be able to call them that. Do you realize how stupid you are? All of these people are so retarded. Calling them fascists, calling them Nazis, calling them like, you wouldn't be able to do that if that's who they were, you idiots. Good Lord, these people are stupid.
Shortly after the altercation we filmed here on January 13th, federal agents drove away. Soon after that, we left the scene.
I mean, again, going back to this,
BBC.
I mean, he literally vandalizes their vehicle right here. This is the person that the media and Hollywood and sports figures are crying over. This is what they're canceling events over right here. This
is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy. On the morning of January 13th, our team received a tip that federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36 and Park Avenue in Minneapolis. We arrived around 10:15 a.m. We saw observers shouting at the agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground. During the altercation, agents fired tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd. They continued to hold the man down before they retreat and he walks away.
I got a good one right here. I haven't even watched it, but I know it's going to be good because it's from Maze. So right here, The Story of Alex Pretti by Elizabeth Warren. Let's hear this.
Caring for people was at the core of who he was. He was incapable of causing harm. Alex carried patience, compassion, and calm as a steady light within him. Even at the very end, that light was there. I recognized his familiar stillness and signature calm composure. Caring for people.
Oh, that's friggin' great right there. You guys go follow Maze more. He's awesome. Great account. He has some of the best memes out there. This is gold.
Caring for people was at the core of who he was. He was incapable of causing harm.
Incapable of causing harm. While he's spitting and vandalizing law enforcement vehicles.
Alex carried patience, compassion, and calm as a steady light within him. Even at the very end, that light was there. I recognized his familiar stillness and signature calm composure.
That's amazing right there. Holy crap. Yeah, so this is the left's hero right here, though. That's him kicking law enforcement vehicles.
Days before border.
Right there. There's your hero. Good Lord, man. What a disaster. What an absolute disaster. Horrible people. And what do you expect, though, from the left? And I it'll be interesting to see how the media spins this one. I mean, it'd be laughable at best. So we'll see what their play is here. Real Life Jeremy says Cranstonstein's part of Minnesota ICE Antifa signal group. That doesn't surprise me. Isaac says, I'd say ICE is doing pretty good. Zindy Biscuit says, reason I think it was fake. Why was he allowed to stand next to her afterwards? He was within arm's reach and unrestrained. Oh, you're talking about the Ilhan Omar. We're going to talk more about that one too. Packet Proton says, Gwen Walls apparently divorcing Tampon Tim. Lambert says, the feds need to charge him with attempted assassination. See how fast he talks. Mark of Reality says, what happened with this raid in Georgia election officials that went down today? We're going to talk about that too. There is a lot to cover. Omega for 20 says, just a reminder, 46.68 of Minnesotans that voted went for Trump. I can't believe what has happened to my state. We are so cooked, and I don't know how we get out of this madness. Don't give up on us, lads. We need your help. As I said, man, I truly believe Minnesota's a red state. I said this like a week ago. I believe almost every state's a red state. If you actually take the fraud out, I think almost every state's a red state. I mean, we live in the craziest timeline ever where the left blows everything out of proportion and they're panicking every step of the way. If you get the fraud out, then it changes the game completely. However, there's a good argument that Minnesota still was blue even for when Reagan won every fucking state. So I don't know. Every state is red minus the major cities, says Can Man. That is true. That is true. Let's get to this. Let's jump over to the Fulton County situation because that's been a huge story. So right here today, FBI just raided Fulton County, Georgia election office as part of an investigation into the 2020 election fraud. They're seizing items, investigating documents, phones, computers. Trump was right all along.
FBI agents are on site at a Fulton County election office in Georgia, where they are conducting a search. David Spunt's got more details for us on this developing story. David?
Hi, Sandra. This is a satellite office for the Fulton County Elections Office. The FBI Atlanta press office confirming this, not giving many details, saying that the FBI is executing a court-authorized law enforcement action. No other details at this time, but we do know via sources a judge signed off on this warrant, allowing these agents, as you see them, enter this building to take items from the inside. Now, we're told that this is a sealed matter before the court, meaning details are now limited. Now, agents are looking at documents, phones, computers. We are told via multiple sources this is related to the 2020 presidential election. Now, we don't know specifically what agents are taking to the FBI lab, items that may eventually become part of a federal case. You may remember President Trump was charged in Fulton County with trying to overturn the 2020 election results. That's Brad Raffensperger right there. He is the Secretary of State of Georgia. That is the Fulton County District Attorney, Fani Willis. Now, Raffensperger spoke to President Trump back in early 2021, and Trump said that he wanted to find some 11,000 votes to help win the election. Raffensperger said that he felt pressure from Trump. Willis then took Donald Trump to trial. That didn't happen. In 2023, she said that her prosecution was all buttoned up, ready to go, but it was completely derailed after it was revealed she had an intimate relationship with the top prosecutor on her team, and it could have tainted the case. Late last year, a judge dismissed the case in its entirety. It's important to point out, Sandra, that a judge typically would not just sign off on a warrant so the FBI could go on what's known as a fishing expedition. It's likely the FBI and DOJ presented some credible evidence to the judge for the judge to go ahead and give the green light. No immediate comment from the Justice Department. Again, the FBI confirming this court-authorized search warrant. We are waiting to see if perhaps Director Kash Patel, Attorney General Pam Bondi, or even Secretary Raffensperger, or perhaps Governor Brian Kemp have anything to say.
You love to see it. You love to see it. And let me remind everyone, President Trump tweeted this out back in September 16th of 2025. I'll just play it. It's the greatest thing ever.
Did you go to a cabin with Miss Willis ever?
Ever?
Ever.
I've been really trying, baby.
go into a cabinet with this?
No.
No. My goodness, man. So there you have that wonderful moment right there. But ultimately, Georgia's been in Trump's crosshairs for a while now. And so it gets better, though, because they apparently are still there. Almost 12 hours. After almost 12 hours, FBI agents are still digging through everything in Fulton County. Here we go.
FBI agents are going through materials found today during a search of the Fulton County, Georgia election office. That search is said to be related to the 2020 election. Correspondent David Spunt has details tonight. Good evening, David.
Brett, good evening. FBI agents are still on site at the records warehouse for the Fulton County, Georgia Board of Elections. The matter is sealed before a court, meaning details are limited, but we can report this is related to the 2020 presidential election. Sources tell Fox News that agents retrieved documents, phones, and computers after a judge signed a warrant. President Trump has long made Georgia, and specifically Fulton County, a target of his complaints relating to the 2020 election. Shortly after that election, Trump spoke to Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, and said he needed 11,780 votes to win the state. At the time, Raffensperger said he felt pressure from Trump and
What a
denied
loser.
any
What a
widespread
weak,
election
pathetic
fraud.
loser.
He continues to deny it to this day. Now, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis brought state criminal charges against then former President Trump and others in 2023 for conspiracy to overturn the election. But her prosecution, Brett, was eventually derailed completely after it was revealed she had an intimate relationship with the top prosecutor on her team, and it could have tainted the case. Late last year, a judge dismissed the case in its entirety. Now, Brett, last month, the Justice Department sued Fulton County, Georgia, seeking access to 2020 voting records after state officials allegedly failed to respond to a subpoena. Fox News has learned the head of the FBI's Atlanta field office was recently forced out in recent days, but it's unclear, Brett, if this is all related.
Fawny. So that's still going on right now. And I guess, that's obviously very good news. FBI agents loading 2020 election ballots into trucks right now in Fulton County election office. And look, man, leadership matters. Trump won in 2020. I don't know who needs to hear that. I feel like everybody watching this stream already knows that, but Trump won in 2020. All right. He's already won 3. Might as well go ahead and let him win a 4th. But Trump won 2020, and it's not even close. Now, ultimately, this is exactly what we voted for. This is what I continue to tell people on the internet, TikTok, and social media in general. And I'm guilty of this too. It has affected our mindset. We are so focused on instant gratification. Like, we need results immediately. We need to have everything immediately. Amazon Prime, eBay, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Netflix. Like, our minds have been rewired to go, I need the answer to the question immediately. I need this problem solved immediately. I need everything immediately. Like, it takes time to cook. So all of the people, the black pillars and all of that, like, it takes time. Give it time. Let things cook. Things are working. Maybe not at the pace that you want, but things are working. Simple as that. Okay. Now, what I want to go back to this kind of leads into what is going on with Minnesota, but also Georgia. Even though you had, Governor Kemp there and everything like that, leadership matters. At a state level, leadership matters. At a city level, leadership matters. Why do I say that? Because the single best governor in the country is Ron DeSantis. Listen to DeSantis talk about the difference in Minneapolis and Florida. Leadership matters right here.
Governor, we certainly are not seeing chaos in Florida as we've seen in places like Minneapolis. So what is the difference?
Well, when President Trump got elected, it was clear he got elected on two main issues, as you mentioned, the economy and the border, and not only stopping the invasion that occurred under Biden, but then removing the people who were here illegally. And so I called a special session of the Florida legislature, and we imposed a legal requirement on all state and local law enforcement agencies to participate with DHS in interior immigration enforcement operations. And the result of that has now been between state and local, we've done 20,000 apprehensions of illegal aliens. And that's in addition to what ICE is doing on its own. And you do have a very, very cohesive set of forces, and we're all on the same page. And here's the thing. The reason why I imposed that requirement, we have some sheriffs that would be gung-ho to do this. We've got some cities, some mayors would not want to do it, right? But since we did...
This is the key right here. This is the key. As he said, we got some mayors that didn't want to do it. But guess what?
The requirement, if you act like Jacob Fry in Florida, then you get removed from your position. And so we have consequences to that duty, and it's worked very well. And it's important. The American people voted for this. This is something that has to be accomplished. And if it can't be accomplished with President Trump's presidency, then are we ever going to be able to get it done?
Well, and Governor, the upshot of what Minnesota, at least the Twin Cities area, they wanted to do was to exempt themselves from federal law. I mean, what if Florida...
Is Fry getting removed? No, because his governor supports everything he's doing. That's the problem with the Democratic leadership at the state level, is that Fry is going to continue to get away with this shit.
Texas voters, Tennessee voters just decided they just didn't want to pay income tax. They wanted to opt out of the enforcement, the IRS enforcement. I mean, people would laugh at them. You can't do that. It's federal supremacy, federal law. And the same situation here.
I think they're going even one step further than that, though. Yes, they do not want to participate. You will literally have a criminal alien sitting in jail in Minnesota for violating their own laws, and they still don't want to cooperate and send that person to DHS so that they can be removed. But what you see on the streets, that's an orchestrated effort. These are groups that are funded. It's being egged on by politicians like the governor and the mayor. And their goal is not to just simply not enforce the law, but to actively sabotage the enforcement of the law. And so I think that's why that just cannot stand. If you can have a state, because they have different political orientation, just opt themselves out and indeed sabotage what's being done to bring about the mandate that the voters gave, you know, then what are we even doing here? And so I think what they're doing has been very, very damaging.
Are you surprised that people like Bill Cassidy and Tom Tillis and some others in the Republican Party are like using this moment clearly to kind of pile on here when they know that everyone thinks these deaths are tragedies. They know generally, you know, what's going on, but they use this moment to dump on ICE.
No, the tragedy is that the law enforcement officers that are there to do their job have to deal with the fallout of having to deal with these crazy lunatics. That's the tragedy. The tragedy is not the idiots that choose to put themselves in this situation and end up losing their life because they're retarded and they make terrible decisions. The tragedy is that these law enforcement officers, regardless as to how guilty these criminals are, they still have to live with that for the rest of their lives. And these are not like evil people, generally speaking. They're just average, everyday Americans that are wanting to do their job, the job that the American people voted for, the job that their commander-in-chief has, you know, asked them to do. And now they have to live with these horrible situations for the rest of their life because these criminals are horrible people. So that's the real tragedy.
Well, here's the thing, Laura. Look, in these individual instances, which are tragic, we should insist on high standards for these officers, and they should do a review. And if there's something that if they need to be held accountable, they should do it. But understand what they're facing. They're facing threats. That people are going after their families just for enforcing the law. They have people that are trying to frustrate their core functions of law enforcement. That's not something that a typical police officer would have to deal with
Correct.
on a day-to-day basis. And so the environment that DHS and ICE is having to operate in is unlike anything we've seen in recent times. There's massive hostility being directed at them, and not just in terms of, oh, you're protesting, but you're doing things that are putting their lives in danger. So it's a difficult assignment, and I just think you should have some sympathy for what they're having to deal with, even if you want to insist on the accountability, which we should do as well.
Well, President Trump already, I'm just making the point. The Republicans shoot themselves in the foot, okay? So, this is what they do. So they have a winning issue, and then they put, they dump on ICE, and as if this job is difficult. It's so difficult that California Congressman Eric Swalwell, who wants to be California's next governor, revealed his plans for what he wants to happen to these agents. Watch this, Governor.
Governors have immense powers, and I have said that when I'm governor of California, if you wear a mask in California, you're losing your driver's license. If you have worked for ICE in the past, you are unhirable.
Oh my gosh.
In our state, that law enforcement will prosecute you for kidnapping, battery, assault, murder on the people in our communities.
What is that, Governor? Now you can't work apparently for the federal government, except in jobs that are duplicative or unnecessary.
Well, it's quite a change for California to say if they wear a mask, then they're going to be have consequences, because they were imposing consequences on people in COVID for not wearing a mask. They were going after people doing all sorts of normal things during that time. So it's a very screwy thing. But he does not have the authority to do that. Federal law. I mean, look, could a conservative state do that to IRS agents like you suggested? Of course, that's just not the way this operates.
When you see what's coming down the road over the next 10 months or so, right before the midterms, what do you see as the greatest challenges for the Republican Party? There's some discontent out there, consumer confidence. I'm going to get into that next segment. But it's a little low right now. Trump wants to raise it. You had the Miami mayoral election, didn't go the way the Republicans wanted. But where do you see things?
Well, first, there's just a typical midterm dynamic. This is not unique to President Trump.
Where was this DeSantis during the fucking presidential election? Again, I will never be able to understand how DeSantis fucked this up so bad. He could have just stayed in line and he would have been set up for, 2028 will be, Trump again. But he just really, that was such a bad run for him, man. He was so, you can't go toe-to-toe with President Trump, ever. You can't. The moment you step in the ring with that guy, you become Meatball Ron at that point. It's crazy how much better he is when he's not competing with Trump.
Of a president of one party, the voters in the other party get motivated to vote in the midterms because they're not happy. The voters of that president's party tend to be happier and more complacent. And I think we have an additional challenge given our current coalition, because a lot of that is specific to President Trump himself. These voters will vote for Republicans when the president's on the ballot. But if he's not on the ballot, I'm not sure that all of them are going to be willing to come out and actually vote. Then you also do have the backdrop where this is just true. There is dissatisfaction amongst base voters in some of the views and what productivity of Congress. I think they think that there should be more aggressiveness, and I think that they want to see some of that. And so I do see some of that as well. So those are just factors that are out there that makes it more difficult than it would be when you have the wind at your back, like in 2024 or 2016 or 2010 when Obama was president.
But what should they do? Those are the typical things. But what should Republicans do? President Trump's trying to carry the whole party on his back.
So in Congress, draw a sharp contrast with the left on immigration. No,
I appreciate that he is shifting any blame to Congress because Trump is doing everything he can. Trump is doing everything humanly possible, and he's being very successful at it. But he does run into roadblocks even within his own party still.
For example, Laura, we're talking about interior enforcement. It's important. I've done a lot in Florida for it. But why not go after the remittances? Why not reduce some of the carrots that people are coming illegally? Why not do employment verification? Why not defund sanctuary cities? These are things that our voters would support 80%, and yet you don't see that being done. So I think if they go bold, if they make the Democrats vote against these really important, popular conservative things, our voters will get a little bit more energized. I do think that would happen.
Do you think we should get rid of the filibuster?
I think the question is if you do that, what are you going to actually pass? And what I would hate to see is that happen, the Republicans still not pass anything, and then the Democrats come in and make D.C. a state and do all those other things. And so that's the thing. They haven't really coalesced around a very big, bold.
You want Vance DeSantis? Listen, a lot of people don't want to hear this. This is hypothetically, if Trump is not in the next election, which I'm not convinced he won't be. But hypothetically, if Trump is not in the picture, DeSantis will be a player moving forward. He just will. I don't think he can. I don't think that he could probably compete with JD and Rubio because of their ties to Trump. But he'll be a player. Like if they do like a big primary and all of this, I mean, I think he'll be a player. But Trump, I'm still Trump 2028. So I support Trump running. I want Trump to run until, because again, as I've said, we already know that Trump, will live to 150. So I'm fine with Trump just being king until he can be king till he's 135, and then we can let him have the last 15 years to enjoy his life. But Trump for king until he's 130, 35, and then we can move on. And that time's around the Barron Trump, like Barron held, because Barron's going to live to 150 as well. So then Barron can take over after Trump, leaves at 135 years old. So, because Barron will be, he'll be like in his prime at that point in time. So it'll be good. It'll be good. So we'll see. All right. Let me catch up on the chat. That was a good interview from Ron DeSantis, though. It was a very, very good interview. Marmalyn says, hey, his patience and calmness is like mine when I'm working on my car. Turns right to anger and rage where I throw shit. Talking about Alex Pretti. Infinity Flare says, VA nurses nationwide already threw their support behind Pretti and declared him a martyr. Imagine being an ICU patient and your nurse is wearing his face on a button pinned to their scrubs. Yeah, I would walk the hell out immediately at that point in time. Normal Man says, as Razorfist said, state electoral college now. Ministry of Wrong Things says, Pretti was shot while reaching for a black object near his pocket. The claim of self-defense, an officer doesn't have to prove they knew an object was a weapon, only that they had a reason to believe it was. Yeah, I just don't think there's any argument. I don't think Alex Pretti has an argument. Well, the people that are defending him, I don't think that they have an argument. Philip Butler says Trump be living like a pimp. Gerald Armstrong says more durag Vince than Duran durag Kip. You just Matt says I wish my girlfriend was like Nikki, but my girlfriend's crush is Luigi Mangione. I need me a conservative, thick chick who believes in God. Thank you. I appreciate it. YouTube is run by Mark. Says Trump needs a pimp cup. Grapthar's Hammer says if Nicki Minaj gets the black women vote, so we don't need liberal white women at all, my life would be complete. Well, I mean, listen, I think that this is where this is the angle right here. Let me find it. Hang on. I got to pull this up. But I think Nicki Minaj will change the game for Trump. Is this it right here? This might be it.
Especially black men. I love black men. I love them. I love them. I have gone through the roof with black men. Black men. My numbers with the black, and especially black men. I love black men. I love them. I love them. I have gone through the roof with black men.
Black men.
But then he says, I don't do so well with black women, but that's okay. So maybe Nicki Minaj will change that because we have this TikTok with him and Nicki Minaj.
Hello guys, I'm with my favorite president, the best president of all time.
And I'm with the queen of rap.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Ehab says, we need a Trump rendition of WAP. I am Brockatron says, at best, this idiot was retarded who chose suicide by cop. I won't apologize for having negative sympathy for degen crackpots, worst of the worst. Mickey Ventura says, I'm in the Baja. MAGA Mike says, why hasn't BLM called out his white privilege? I know, right? Cultural Breakdown says, when carrying a gun, behave like a jury is watching. River Miles says, and all the girls that say I'm pretty bi for a white guy. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says, they justify violence against you and me while crying victim. They justify violence against Kirk and Babbitt. My sympathy for the leftists is zero. Swirly BS says, the quartering audio was so much better than yours. Duh, he was a violent lefty. With them, just wait a minute and our theories will always come true. That is accurate right there. My audio actually sucks in this setup. I got to fix there's a little bit of an echo. I still have to work on that. BC Man says, hence why the U.S. maps mostly red AF. Miniature Von Thing says, Tim Pool argues up and down that Trump retreated from Minnesota based on Nick Sortor, but Nick himself said Trump didn't even know about Bovino and was mad. So is Nick wrong or is Nick right, Tim? Tim, I don't know what Tim actually believes. I have no idea what Tim Pool actually believes. So I don't think Tim knows what Tim actually believes. Tim is a panicking. Thank you. That's very good right there. That pretty much sums it up right there. Minister Von says Trump caved, yet there's video of ICE officers literally cracking beers as Minnesota police use LA. Let's see, what is that? Oh, and protesters. And now the lefts are literally protesting Minnesota police and Walls himself. Feels like a dub. Again, don't listen to the panicans, man. Don't listen to the panicans. MAGA Mike says, imagine having people doxing you, hunting you down, attacking your vehicles, blowing whistles and blowhorns to confuse you, just trying to create a viral moment and attack you when you're vulnerable. And that's what all of these officers are dealing with, sadly enough. Polson says, if it comes out that Pretti did instigate all this time, Greg Bovino needs to be reinstated immediately. I don't know if that's why Bovino was removed, though. We don't know that. Minister of One Thing says, we are in full-blown information civil war. Incoherent Name says, a reminder that Georgia's governor was considering a vote audit that changed his mind after his daughter's boyfriend blew up in a car explosion. Lapco says, good news, Jer. Heard back from Kathleen about the Interstellar remake. RuPaul is super interested for the lead, and Ryan Johnson is ready to step up. And if J.J. Abrams drops out, they'll make it better. Oh, boy. That sounds great. Michael says, are you watching the Melania documentary movie this weekend? I'm not interested to go see it, but I hope it does well, though. Fantastic Knox says, WAP wet ass president. Incoherent Name says, did you see the ICE agent mooning protesters from his hotel? That's America's ass. Jeremy Wormy says, Tim said Trump should pull out Monday morning and then started screaming Trump surrendered and how awful it was. Yeah, I don't think Tim has a stance on anything. I think he just kind of goes all over the place, which is his right. It works for him. It gets him views. So go for it. Oh, no. Here we go, boys. So I guess we need to get into this aspect of it. The Hollywood nut jobs are losing their minds. And good Lord. So right here, Giancarlo Esposito, Gus Fring, crying about Trump. Here it is. Breaking Bad star Giancarlo Esposito, says it's time for a revolution. Says some people would die, but the rest of us would survive. Good old Gus. Here we go.
This is time for a revolution. It's time for it, and they don't even know that's what they're starting. You know, some very rich old white men are exerting their power to suppress our own people, thus creating a feeling of civil war in the streets, preparing the haters to hate, teaching them how to shoot. They're not even trained right, to kill. This is all a preparation for a very insidious problem that's happening in our world. And for me, I have to speak out that we will not be iced out. This is not going to happen. They can't.
Who is we, you dumb fuck? Are you a legal citizen? Are you legal in the United States of America? Then who the fuck is we, you idiot? You go, how stupid are you? But of course, the Variety reporter is going to sit there and just go nod his head and go, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Can't take us all down.
Good
If
Lord.
the whole world showed up on Putin's doorstep or on the Iranians' doorstep or in Washington, it would stop. They'll kill 550 million, however, but the rest of us would survive with a new. This is time for a revolution. It's time for it, and they don't even know that's what they're starting. But we have to be strong enough to know that we can change the world. We have to change it from within. So if I'm spiritually ready and right, you know, and I'm ready to understand other people and to agree to disagree with them and say, okay, let's find the solution together, then that starts to change things. Not by deporting immigrants, not by killing them.
Deporting illegal immigrants, you lying piece of shit.
Brown and even white people on the street. It's crossing over now, and believe me, this is gonna really spark the nature of so many people who are gonna show up and say no more. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
You know what's interesting about Gus or Giancarlo? Before this just kind of shows you like this guy is a phenomenal actor, but he's also a very unhinged person in real life. Because before he got the role of Gus Fring in Breaking Bad, which is truly one of the greatest roles of all time, and nobody can debate that. I don't care how much you hate Giancarlo. His portrayal as Gus is legendary, okay? With that said, before he got the role as Gus, he was actually contemplating suicide. He was actually contemplating that so that his family could get the insurance money because he was so depressed. You can look this up. Look all this up. And then he got the role in Breaking Bad and it changed his career. So this guy's clearly, you know, got a lot of problems that I think he needs to worry about. But instead, he wants to call for a revolution, and he wants to make up lies about why people are being removed from the country and all of that. The bottom line, Giancarlo, is that the American people voted for this in a landslide. If you have a problem with that, maybe you should take it up with the American people. But we, the people, voted for this, and we continue to demand that we get what we voted for. It's simple as that. End of discussion. But he's not the only one, because John Leguizamo, who will be in The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, which I have consistently said is some of the worst casting I've ever seen, and I say that as a massive Christopher Nolan fan. John Leguizamo has this to say to anyone that wants to go watch his movie.
If you follow ICE, unfollow me, don't come to my shows, and don't watch my movies.
So Phil had said John Leguizamo is going to get a call from Christopher Nolan pretty soon. I responded, hail to Phil, by the way. I responded and I said, at this point, Nolan gets what he deserves. The cast of The Odyssey is embarrassing, and it is. And I stand by it. But I don't feel sorry for Christopher Nolan, because you have hired activists And I don't think the whole entire cast of Odyssey is bad. I really don't have a problem with the majority of the people at the top of the ticket, but John Leguizamo, Elliot Page, whatever it's called, Lupita Nyong'o, it's Zendaya, like it's just weird. Like Travis Scott, like what are we doing, dude? This is the fucking Odyssey. So I got problems with that. But John Leguizamo, if he in any way hurts the box office for the Odyssey, that's on Christopher Nolan. John Leguizamo has been a crazy lunatic for a long fucking time. A long time. And so if you're bringing that into it, you're bringing the mental illness of Ellen Page into the movie. If you're bringing that shit into it, I don't feel sorry for you if it hurts your movie. Now, again, I fully anticipate the Odyssey to be very good and it will be extremely successful. But this could hurt it. This could hurt it. And I hope that Christopher Nolan learns from this because this is a terrible decision. John Leguizamo should never be hired in any movie if you want it to be successful. And to be clear, nobody's going to see the Odyssey because of John Leguizamo. He is the most irrelevant motherfucker on the planet. He's been irrelevant. The most relevant that I remember John Leguizamo being was when he was in Tu Wong Fu, where he had to dress up like a woman. That's about the most relevant I remember him being. Remember Tu Wong Fu? Who was in that? Wesley Snipes, John Leguizamo, and somebody else. Was it Woody Harrelson? I don't think it was Woody Harrelson, was it? Who was in that fucking movie? Who was in it? Was it Patrick Swayze? Holy shit. That's a long time ago. So that's the most relevant John Leguizamo's ever been in my mind. So there you have it right there. What a piece of shit he is. But Hollywood stars are going to continue to do this. They're going to continue to make fools of themselves. This is what they do. They can't help it. But I don't feel sorry for you as a filmmaker if you hire these pieces of shit and then they end up hurting your bottom line. I don't feel sorry at all. So moving on. Let's see where you guys are at. John freaking Murdoch. Hang on, my stupid StreamYards is taking it. Sometimes it gets it messes up. But John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, "Hey Jeremy, sorry I was late. Started from the beginning, but now I'm all caught up. I find you much easier to listen to at 1.75 speed. Hail IDOT, hail 199, happy Jessica." One of my biggest supporters just told me that I am better to listen to at 2 times speed, basically. How is that supposed to make me feel good? That doesn't help my confidence, John. Now I'm self-conscious. I'm like, well, if you're like one of the biggest supporters and you would rather hear me at 2 times speed, the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Am I supposed to go to the Ben Shapiro School of Fast Talking now? Now I'm self-conscious. Now I don't know what to do. Feeling weird. Feel like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do. This is an awkward place for me. Thank you, John. 8 o'clock says, is he just saying the quiet part out? Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Maybe. I don't really know what Giancarlo Esposito was trying to say. I really don't. Maybe he doesn't even know. Maybe he was just preparing for another role. Very weird. Ministry of Wrong Think says, never take a politicized tears from an actor seriously. That's the truth. Drakon199 says, Tim doesn't want to like Trump. He reluctantly sides with Trump because their goals align. He constantly turns on Trump every chance he gets. From what I've seen, that's true too. Madney says, I'm sure Gigi would volunteer to risk his life on the front lines of the revolution instead of living comfortably from his Hollywood mansion. Yep. John Wayne says, so will Gussie Boy be on the front lines, or will he be hiding in some undisclosed tropical paradise overseas? I think we know the answer to that one. Daniel says, what is dehydrated Don Lemon talking about? Final Halo says, Melania said today that Barron was the one to push his dad to podcast and stuff during campaign. That's awesome to hear. That's absolutely awesome to hear. Lapco says, did you see the AI trailer for the Odyssey where they replaced Batman armor with historical bronze? Metatron was blown away by it. Yeah, I thought it looked retarded. The historical armor looks retarded. So that's just the truth. Packy Proton says, let's all show up to Ice Age 6 in MAGA hats. And we got that one. MAGA Mike says, the left is losing public optics so bad. They're calling on all actors, has been celebrities, and even Obama, just like they did for Joe Biden. Yes. Madney says, I got that one. Fantastic Knox says, complaining about old rich white men, but he is a rich old black man. Sit this one out, Gus. 100%. Jeremy Wormy says, Tim said Trump should pull. Oh, yeah, I got that one. Some of them are just not. I'm having to go to my fan funding to see it. Bibby says, it's okay, J-Dog. I listened to you at 0.5. 0.5? That's not good. But I'll take it. No big deal. What is this right here? Tim Wall, a terrified Tim Wall says he's never seeking an elected office again. Did Trump break him that bad?
We're already doing it. Do you regret jumping out before such a consequential moment?
No, and part of it was true. Look, I recognize that I'm a lightning rod, and this is a tough.
You're not a fucking lightning rod. You're a dumbass. To be a lightning rod, you would need to have actual fans and supporters. You have none. You have zero fans. You have zero true supporters. You are not a fucking lightning rod at all.
Space for I'm in, because I know they hate me personally, and they take it out on my constituents, because old white guys who are former governors tend to land on their feet okay type of thing. But in all fairness, on the timing, I removed myself, and then 2 days later, Renee Good is murdered. But I think one of the things is I have no political consideration, will never run for an elected office again.
Never again.
Never again. And I will just do the work. And what I found is, again, I'm going to say this. There's heroes on the streets that we don't know their names. They're never going to run for office. And those grass-top leaders brought this administration to their knees this week to do something about it. So there's other ways to serve, and I'll find them. We're already doing it.
Do you regret jumping out?
I really, 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 really can't stand that dude. But guess what? Tulsi Gabbard was just spotted at the Fulton County, Georgia election site raided by the FBI involving likely 2020 election fraud. Oh boy. Mama is home. Uh-oh.
FBI agents are going through materials found today during a search of the Fulton County, Georgia election office. That search is said to be related to the 2020 election. Correspondent David Spunt has.
And this is just a recap of earlier from what we heard, but if you're just tuning in, this is what's going on in Fulton County right now.
Details tonight. Good evening, David.
Brett, good evening. FBI agents are still on site at the records warehouse for the Fulton County, Georgia Board of Elections. The matter is sealed before a court, meaning details are limited, but we can report this is related to the 2020 presidential election. Sources tell Fox News that agents retrieved documents, phones, and computers after a judge signed a warrant. President Trump has long made Georgia, and specifically Fulton County, a target of his complaints relating to the 2020 election. Shortly after that election, Trump spoke to Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, and said he needed 11,780 votes to win the state. At the time, Raffensperger said he felt pressure from Trump and denied any widespread election fraud. He continues to deny it to this day. Now, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis brought state criminal charges against then former President Trump and others in 2023 for conspiracy to overturn the election. But her prosecution, Brett, was eventually derailed completely after it was revealed she had an intimate relationship.
Dude, I know we watched this earlier, so we'll move on from it. But yeah, so Tulsi Gabbard in the house, so we'll see what happens. I can't, if this is true, what I'm about to show you, I can't believe this is true if this is true. Okay. But holy shit. Senator Dick Durbin, who sits on the Senate Judiciary Committee, went to the floor with an AI image. So I don't know if you saw that this image the other day went viral. And it's an AI image of Alex Pretti. The ICE agent, the border agent, he has no head. He has no head. The AI image of a headless ICE officer shooting Alex Pretti. No. No. I don't know what the context here is, but like, why even have this? This is a fucking meme. There's no way that he has to be talking about the fake image. There's no way that he's making serious commentary on this. I have to look into this. Like, please tell me that he's making commentary on the fake image and not that he think there's no fucking way. Hang on. No way, dude. Dick Durbin uses an AI-generated image on the Senate floor to try to portray events in Minnesota. One of the ICE agents in the photo does not have a head. I need to see video of this shit, dude. I gotta have video. Holy fuck. Please give me video. I'm looking right now. Oh my goodness. Is this? Okay, hang on.
Administration's immediate. This photo shows the last second before the ICE agent killed Alex Pretti on the streets of Minneapolis. In his right hand is his camera, left hand holding the ground. No gun, obvious. No effort to resist, obvious. This was a moment when this man lost his life. He was characterized afterwards as an assassin, a domestic terrorist. Photo tells the story.
Photo tells the story. Thank you, Dick Durbin. The photo tells the story, ladies and gentlemen, with a headless ICE agent. These are the people that are involved in making decisions for our fucking country. Are you kidding me? Understanding the internet should be a key to being in politics at this point in time. The fact that we have so many of these old motherfuckers that don't understand the internet, this is crazy.
The killing of Alex Pretti has further intensified tensions in a city already reeling from the president's aggressive campaign of terror.
Headless agent sounds
What was the Trump
badass.
administration's immediate response when they heard of this second killing in Minneapolis? Not to bring down the temperature, but instead to rush to the American people with one message. Don't believe your eyes. Don't believe what you see.
He said, don't believe what you see. No, he didn't. I was just about to stop this because I didn't think there would be any more. And he literally, oh my God.
Instead to rush to the American people with one message. Don't believe your eyes. Don't believe what you see. It's the same playbook they used after the killing of Renee Good, with other federal immigration officers involved shootings and incidents. Following the fatal shooting of Miss Good, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, falsely claimed she had, quote, violently, willfully, and viciously ran over an ICE officer.
This is amazing.
In response to the killings of both Miss Good and Mr. Pretti, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem labeled their actions, quote, domestic terrorism. And Attorney General Pam Bondi, in a letter sent to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
I can't listen to 6 more minutes of this, but this is right here. Like, this is the Democrats right here. Like, He doesn't even know how to get this printed out. So whoever in his office is working for him, they couldn't tell either, apparently. Like, who is making these decisions? Like, who is doing this? Like, this had to go through multiple people. This is not, someone says this is an AI photo. This is an AI photo. This is not a real picture. One of the ICE agents does not have a head. This went mega viral the other day on Twitter. It had like 100,000 likes. Holy crap. That is absolutely amazing. I am floored by that one. Headless ICE agent. Let's see. Headless ICE agent. Yeah, right here. So, don't know which is worse, the left generating AI images to sell their Nazi propaganda, or that they accept everyone to believe that the headless horseman left Sleepy Hollow to pursue a career as an ICE agent. So this is the close up. This is the image that he's using right here. That's the image. Holy crap. This is amazing. Amazing. You love to see it. You know what else you love to see? The Somali anti-ICE rioter. Guess what? Guess what? Yep. Here we go.
We're following these two men, and I was waiting for these two men to hold the door for me. And I told them, hey, can you hold the door for me? And I walked right in the middle. And when I was in the middle, ICE came. They came out of their cars. They asked me to see my ID. And while they were asking me to see the ID, they just decided it was nice to be racist and say really nasty things to me.
Hell yeah.
And that man, he called me the N-word, and he called me that, and then he arrested me. They arrested me.
Of course he did. Of course he did. You've got to be kidding me.
To me, it was multiple people. They used a lot of force to arrest me. I actually got a scab that was healing while I was in jail. But they pushed me hard. They used a lot of violence. My body still hurts. I got a concussion. It's really hard for me to speak because of that concussion. They were just using a lot of force to arrest me. And
She's just lying, dude. She's just fucking lying. They used a lot of force to arrest me. What are you talking about?
I was screaming. I was crying. I was so scared. I've never been arrested in my life. I don't have a criminal record. I have a clean record. It was just, and then that detainment, I was detained. I was literal cuffs were put on my legs, cuffs on my hands, and I was actually detained with a Native American woman. And
oh my God. Oh my God.
God bless her heart. She went through a lot too. She was also detained by ICE, and she was also a U.S. citizen. And like me, and she had gashes on her face. They shattered her windows. She had blood on her jeans, her corduroy jeans, and she was crying because she was so scared because she was with her dog. She was so scared that her dog got hurt. She was so scared for her life. We were both crying together. We were holding each other tight. And I'll never forget, the fear that we both felt in our hearts that day. And I'm so sorry if I'm getting a little emotional, but.
Thank you.
Good Lord. I like how Jack Posobiec posted this and he had to tell everybody it's not AI. It's real. She got arrested. All right. She really got arrested. Bananas and Rice Somali girl has been arrested for assaulting law enforcement in Minnesota. You can't make this up.
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's It's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice. You know, people don't really see, like, you know, it's you know, people don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice, but that's what it's like to be Somali and American. It's like that combination of banana and rice, but you're gonna get what I mean.
Okay. Whatever works for you, I guess. JB username says, remember the good old days when the N word used meant something. Simpler times I yearn for. Yep, I agree. It's the whole thing is just retarded, man. It really is. I don't know how these people, I don't know how they get from point A to point B every day. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. Good Lord. Where did we leave off? I think we got Marine Rebel says the left whines and complains more than Dabo Sweeney. I think you mean Dabo Sweeney. Patriot Dad says Timpon wants to flee to China. Daniel says the raid is just for show. Space Force has everything. Lapco says it's Roland the headless Thompson gunner. If you know, you know. Misery From thinks says the AI image, the agent's foot is on a camera tripod. Misery From thinks says AI propaganda is officially here. Buckle up. Yeah, I mean, and that's the scary thing is that this is what will start, like the Dick Durbin thing is like, this is the type of shit that they'll start wars over this shit in the future. Like, look at this. His foot is a camera tripod. Oh my God. Good Lord. Minister Ron thing says, Jeremy, you see the clip from CNN themselves showing a minority of Americans want to deport all illegals in 4 different national polls. I did see that one. I think I have that. I'll show everybody here in a minute. Mickey says, Jeremy, stop playing this video. My IQ is now 67. Ministry Ron thing says, majority. Damn, autocorrect. You're good. I knew what you meant. Packet Proton says, maybe Omar would have better luck on OnlyFans. I'm going to say no, she wouldn't. I don't know. But hey, maybe. What is this? Hang on. I got to see this. Stephen A. Smith has an unexpected moment of clarity about ICE on air. Okay.
Bondi called for the state to end its sanctuary city policies and cooperate fully with immigration and customs enforcement. This includes honoring immigration detainers and allowing ICE agents to interview and remove individuals from state prisons and jails. That's where it gets interesting. Because if you have crossed the border illegally and for some reason you are incarcerated because of a crime that you may have committed that had nothing to do with ICE at the time, what is wrong with ICE and the feds insisting that the states, local and state government, let you into their jails, let you into their prisons to get these individuals and deport them back to where they came from? You got millions upon millions of American citizens that ain't gonna have a problem with that part. They'll have more of a problem with the voter rolls and other things before they have a problem with that.
I saw you going, he's coming. I don't know if you guys remember that where he said that. First of all, you say don't trust him. You should never trust Stephen A. Smith, okay? You should never trust him. As I've said many times, Stephen A. knows basketball for sure, and that's it. But he talks about everything, but he knows basketball. But he is... I find him entertaining for several reasons, just because I like to see him kind of twist himself up in a pretzel, trying to make a point that he often fails on many, many times. And he does a really good job of that. Really quick, hang on. So no injuries reported after a man rammed his car into the largest synagogue in Brooklyn, located on Eastern Parkway. So right here, man rams car into largest synagogue in Brooklyn, located on Eastern Parkway. The suspect has been arrested and no motive has been given. So there you have that. I'm sure. What's the guy's name? What's the mayor's name? I already forgot the fucking mayor's name. What's his name? The fuck's the mayor's name again? Mamdani. Yeah, Mamdani. I'm sure Mamdani will be right on it. I completely forgot his name. So, Kamdani. Yeah, that's actually a good name for him for sure. Nicholas says, I live like 15 minutes from that synagogue. Wow. Well, be safe, bro. Be safe. Let's see here. Is that oh no. This apparently is what really happened to Ilhan Omar. I cannot confirm nor deny that. I am just sharing the information with all of you. You are welcome to make whatever assumption or opinion off of this that you would like. I'm just here sharing the information. Now, if we move over to Fulton County, Georgia State Election Board member Janice Johnston says the FBI showed up with a warrant for the election documents.
We were informed today that the
Can barely hear her.
has come with a warrant to obtain the election documents and ballots and ballot envelopes. Unfortunately, anyone that works at the Fulton County warehouse has not allowed entry by the state election board member or Ms. Grubbs, the state election board member.
Okay, so she's just blah, blah, blah. But we have more. So right here, Fulton County Commissioner Dana Barrett is losing it after the FBI raided an election center over potentially fraudulent 2020 ballots. Here we go.
What you're doing is extremely dangerous.
Why is it dangerous?
Because you're spreading conspiracy theories.
It's not a conspiracy theory. Do you have $45? I'm not undermining. I'm not saying people are voting there. Ma'am, I'm not saying that people are voting there. I'm not saying people are voting there. I'm saying people are currently registered to vote there. We went around Fulton County the last few weeks and we see that people are currently registered to vote in places like empty lots, homeless shelters that closed 10 years ago. What would you do if you become Secretary of State to address that?
I'm not going to reply to conspiracy theories.
It's not conspiracy. It's a current. You can currently go on the voter rolls, purchase them for $45, and go there with us. We will gladly take you if you want to go to.
I appreciate what you're saying. I'm not going to respond to conspiracy theories.
How is that a conspiracy theory? It's an active voter rolls. If you're going to be running for Secretary of State, you're in charge of maintaining the voter rolls. Don't you care about if people are registered to vote from empty lots?
Questions. I appreciate it. I've got to.
Do you think it's a conspiracy theory that people are registered to vote from empty lots, though? Well, I have the ability to go wherever I want to. People are currently registered to vote in empty lots, Commissioner. And if you're going to run for Secretary of State, aren't you going to at least take a look at that? It took me $45 to purchase the voter rolls. You can do that as well for the Fulton County. You can see that people are registered to vote from empty lots. They're registered to vote at a MARTA bus station. Are you not going to do anything about that? You're just going to call that conspiracy theories again? We have exact addresses that you can go to right now. 205 Elm Street Northwest. It's an empty lot. You can go there right now and see it for yourself. Do you not care about that? You're an elected official and you don't want to address that?
I love this so much. I love how nervous she is and how freaked out she is. This is glorious.
Commissioner, if you're going to be running for Secretary of State and that involves maintaining clean voter rolls in one of the most important counties, I would say, in the United States.
I think what you're doing is extremely dangerous.
Why is it dangerous?
Because you're spreading conspiracy theories.
It's not a conspiracy theory. Do you have $45?
Conspiracy theories, meaning you're actually talking about something that we're going to actually find out very soon. How many conspiracy theories were discussed about COVID? How many conspiracy theories were discussed about J6? How many conspiracy theories were talked about with 2020 election, something we're talking about right now?
I'm not undermining. I'm not saying people are voting there. Ma'am, I'm not saying that people are voting there. I'm not saying people are voting there. I'm saying people are currently registered to vote there. Jason, right? People are currently registered to vote there. We're not saying people are voting there, Commissioner. We're saying clean the rolls.
Oh, she is so pissed off. Look how pissed she is. She is mad as hell.
Saying people, we're not.
Oh, whew. That is, can I speak to the manager energy right there? Like she's about to go full Karen mode on all those managers.
Not saying people are voting there, Commissioner. We're saying clean the rolls. Jason, so she said that it's a conspiracy theory.
That's glorious. I think I had one more. Maybe, I don't know. No, I didn't. Mr. President Bananas and Rice has been arrested. You love to see it. You do love to see it. Now it looks like we've got, is this another angle? Right here, assault me, mother effer. Alex Pretti on January 13th trying to get injured by federal officers.
Look at you! Pepper spray, bitch! Fucking something, motherfucker! Fuck you guys!
Bro, he spit it. Yeah, so you see it right there. He spit in the fucking door. What a piece of shit, dude. Wow. That's the left hero right there. This is the very peaceful Alex Pretti. He's so peaceful, guys. He's just so peaceful.
Look at you! Pepper spray, bitch! Fucking something, motherfucker! Fuck you guys! Fucking trash!
What an absolute idiot. Good Lord. Now, again, just want to be very clear that Elizabeth Warren had some wonderful words.
Caring for people was at the core of who he was. He was incapable of causing harm. Alex carried patience, compassion, and calm as a steady light within him. Even at the very end, that light was there. I recognized his familiar stillness and signature calm composure.
Oh, that's so good. It's so freaking good. God, these people are awful, man. They are the worst humans. Okay, we got that one. Got that. Packet Protons, got that. Trans Girly says, you can use as much force with me as you want. All right, you're going to get banned. I'm about to ban you. Chad says she had no problem at saying it, bananas and rice. Okay, next up. So much going on. OOO says Reddit isn't going to have any mods left at this rate. Hopefully they send Alex the bill for the broken tail light. Maybe. What is this right here? So Nicki Minaj says Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is her new hero because of how strongly he pummeled Gavin Newsom in Davos. Here we go.
In Davos.
So spot on. You know, that's one of my new heroes, I told you. Now, because of the way he so calmly and confidently obliterated New Scum.
The beauty here is like, dude, could you imagine Gavin Newsom having to deal with Nicki Minaj, like having to respond to her? There's no good for the left to respond to Nicki Minaj. It does them no favors at all. And the fact that she is prominently supporting Trump in such a vocal way and a public way, this is a big fucking problem for them.
Ironic that, Governor Newsom, who strikes me as Patrick Bateman meets Sparkle Beach Ken, may be the only Californian who knows less about economics than Kamala Harris. He's here this week with his billionaire sugar daddy, Alex Soros.
Holy crap, I haven't heard this. I mean, I heard people quoting it, but I haven't actually heard the audio. This is amazing.
And the Davos is a perfect place for a man who, when everyone else was on lockdown, when he was having people arrested for going to church, he was having $1,000 a night meals at the French Laundry. And I'm sure the California people won't forget that. And I can tell my message to Governor Newsom is the Trump administration is coming to California. We are going to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse. And I was told he was asked to give a speech on his signature policies, but he's not speaking because what have his economic policies brought? Outward migration from California, a gigantic budget deficit, the largest homeless population in America, and the poor folks in the Palisades who had their homes burned down. He is here hobnobbing with the global elite while his California citizens are still homeless. Shame on him. He is too smug, too self-absorbed, and too economically illiterate to know anything.
Thank you very much.
Let me know if you need any further clarification. Governor of California, with no signature achievements, but to say strange things like President Trump is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. What the hell does that mean? I could say Gavin Newsom is a Brontosaurus with a brain the size of a walnut. And if you brought the knee pads, maybe that was for his meeting with Alex Soros.
Dude.
I don't know.
Mr. Secretary.
It's so great. It's so great to watch this all play out, man. The savagery of the Trump administration is next level. It is phenomenal. I love watching how this, like, they just don't care. And that's the attitude we got to have. It's the attitude era. Okay. It's the attitude era. And it was like we're bringing the attitude era into the world of politics. Yeah, you know this is going to happen pretty soon right here. So MSNBC, you'll have the original picture of the person that went after Ilhan Omar. But this will be what MSNBC will give us right here. And you know what's happening. You know this is the game they're going to play. So go ahead and just get ready for it. That's what they're going to do. He will be... now, I saw that there was some people that were saying that there was some stuff getting exposed about him. So I got to see if I can pull that one up. Give me just a second to find it. It's been a busy day, man. There's a lot of stuff. Oh, look at here. Look at here, ladies and gentlemen. The family of Alex Pretti has retained the lawyers who helped prosecute the George Floyd case. Look at there. Look at there. Interesting how that happened. Interesting indeed. Yes, Jessica, that's the one I'm going to be looking for, the one you tagged me in. I think I liked that comment, as a matter of fact. Let me go back and see. Yeah, so St. Floyd's attorneys are in on it, it looks like. So nothing says, let's see. Did I like it or did I bookmark it, Jess? I think I did bookmark it. I'll find it. But yeah, nothing says, we're completely confident in our case, like bringing St. Floyd's bullshit into it. Good Lord, man. Pathetic on every level. What is this right here? Joe Rogan notices that everyone has forgotten about Minnesota's fraud scandal ever since the ICE riots broke out. Well, don't forget, though, Joe Rogan's also the guy that was crying about ICE and how mean they're being. ICE is being so mean and so aggressive, and it's really hurting to see them do this to so many people. So, like, on one hand, Joe Rogan gets it, and then on the other hand, he sounds like a liberal bitch. So let's listen to what he has to say.
There's a lot of people that don't understand what's going on and why riots
Maybe you.
only in Minneapolis. and why riots in the place where there's an ungodly amount of fraud that has been discovered.
Coincidentally, right around the same time.
Exactly. Like instantaneously afterward.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Andrew Wilson. Is that his name? Andrew Wilson was on today. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome.
The narrative completely changes. Everybody forgets about the fraud. Now all anybody cares about is ICE and fascists and Nazis.
Yeah.
And it's there's a, you know what a color revolution is.
Of course.
And for people that don't, it's a coordinated effort to cause chaos. And this is a very coordinated thing. The idea that this is an organic protest, these riots organic, is nonsense. It's provably nonsense because now they have access to the signal chats, so they know that these people.
Cam Higbee, by the way,
yes,
he's been on the front lines of this. The Crucible has been a big supporter of that effort. My channel. I will often snipe his coverage while it's going on, send my audience over to send in super chats in order to keep this guy going. I think that work is critical.
Yes.
It's critical work. And there's not that many people doing it anymore because of how dangerous it has become.
Yes.
And so I'm a big supporter of that. Doesn't mean I agree with everything he says politically, but what he's doing on the ground there needs to happen.
Right. You need to understand that this isn't organic, regardless of how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, but Joe's the same guy that cries every time he sees like so he's like, we're being too aggressive, we're separating families, we're arresting innocent workers. It's like illegal means illegal. This is not complicated. Illegal means illegal. If you are illegal, you need to go. Simple as that. This is not complicated. Never has been, never will be. Now, you can try to complicate it by using these kind of emotional tactics that the left constantly uses by trying to bring up, like, these are just hardworking people trying to make a better life for themselves. They're illegal. They're criminals. End of discussion. All right? So, Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier with the gifted membership. Thank you. Vault 199 Gaming says, without social media, corruption would be covered up. I mean, social media has done a lot. A lot of good and a lot of bad. Jessica, could you tag me in that one more time? Because I can't find it. If you don't mind. Wasn't it Kongman that posted that, though? I think Kongman did. Let me see. I just go to Kongman's Twitter account and see what he said. Yeah. Here we go, right here. So, right here, he has Troon Kids, obviously staged. So this is from Kongman, and he posted this right here. I'm assuming this is legit. But yeah, so there you have it. I don't know. We're going to find more out about this guy. But ultimately, I don't think that this thing is legit at all in any capacity. I'm going to stand by that. I think that this is 100% a PR move. And the left has done this to themselves. Like, it's not a problem that Jussie Smollett faked his hate crime, because that happens. We have people that do this shit all the time. The problem is that the media completely believed him and pushed that lie. The media and all of the talking heads and all of the athletes and all the celebrities, they pushed this lie to make everybody believe that it was a real thing, when in reality, it wasn't. And so media jumped the gun like they always do. Yes, they always do that. And so that's what we're constantly battling against, is stuff like that, that we're having to battle all of those narratives and all of that ridiculous stuff. But I mean, when you go into, I don't know, what is this one? Okay. So neighbor of the suspect in the Ilhan Omar attack says he was medicated from a previous accident, says he sent a cryptic message before the incident, according to the New York Post. His neighbor, Brian Kelly is his neighbor? Really? I mean, that would send anybody to the loony bin. Many of you may not know who Brian Kelly is. Brian Kelly, recently of the LSU Tigers, former college football coach, but it's not that Brian Kelly. Anyway, so if he could watch his dog while he went to Omar's event, he said, quote, "I'm going to this Omar thing." I'm like, "Omar what?" He said, "This town hall thing." He said, "I might get arrested," Kelly said. "I figured it was nonsense. He wasn't going to do anything stupid." I said, "Sure, I'll walk her." But then the next day he said, "Don't worry about it. I've got it covered." I figured that he blew that off. According to Kelly, he was heavily medicated from a car crash where he injured his spine years ago. He has been diagnosed with Parkinson's. He's only 55. This sounds like the exact type of person that the Democrats would bring into the situation to manipulate and twist and pay off. Yeah, right up the alley. Cam Higbee just posted a crazy video. Where did he post it at? Did he post it on Twitter or on YouTube? Yeah, I don't see anything on Twitter, so it must be on YouTube. Let's see here. Cam Higbee. YouTube? Okay, here we go. All right. It says, "I'm not suicidal."
Yeah, that great F-150 just drove past me on the opposite way towards Cedar. That was on Lake and Park.
Thanks. You could say we've got 2 commuters behind that F-150. Do we have folks are whistling at this? It looks like this is a confirmed ICE vehicle.
We're not ICE. Why are you guys following us? And they leave like right when we get out of the car. We're not ICE.
Oh, and they
Not ICE! Not in a nice vehicle, right?
No.
Right, get in your truck, get the fuck out.
Why?
Because you need to go. Confirmed ICE.
We're not ICE.
What's up, guys? It's very likely that you have seen the Signalgate scandal that I uncovered and infiltrated on X. I wanted to bring it to my audience here on YouTube. So let's talk about what I found. So the first thing is the intent and express purpose of these signal chats is to hunt down and impede federal law enforcement. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about or what this is, there is a sophisticated and organized network of signal chats. Signal is an encrypted messaging app that is used by leftists in Minneapolis. And
we've heard reports about this. I mean, he's been at the forefront of reporting this with these signal chats, which is showing coordination where they're targeting ICE agents and federal agents. And reportedly, Alex Pretti was part of that, along with potentially like government officials as well, for targeting ICE agents.
All around the country, we're finding out to coordinate action against federal law enforcement when they're conducting field operations. Now, what this consists of is a number of roles and what they call shifts. So some of those are going to be motor patrols, stationary patrols, people in their car just sitting on the corner, foot patrol and stationary foot patrols, same as the car, but on foot. They operate within specific zones. So each area of the city, south, north, east, west, northwest, north, south, etc., have patrol zones within those zones of the city that they are supposed to stick to. They also have dispatchers, plate checkers, etc., medics, all of these things. And they have an emoji code that's set up to identify who is what role and when they're on shift. So when they clock in for their shift, I find it hard to believe that they're not being paid when they're taking literal shifts for 6 to 8 hours a day doing these roles. They change an emoji next to their name that correlates with the emoji code that indicates what they're doing. So within
this fucking crazy, dude. Like, this is crazy. This should be like, there should be massive jail time for all of these people. And again, it's only happening in Minnesota. Why? Because the state and the local government is in on the whole thing. I just played you the clip from Ron DeSantis earlier. Do you think this is going to happen in Florida? Do you think something like this is going to happen in Texas? Do you think that that's going to happen in Montana? Do you think something's going to have that? No.
Chat, they will send license plate numbers, intersections where they saw the vehicles, photos of the vehicles, etc. And then the patrols will go chase those vehicles if they're believed to be ICE.
Yeah, that gray F-150 just drove past me on the opposite way towards Cedar. That was on Lake and Park.
That's us.
Thanks. You could say we've got 2 commuters behind that F-150.
There is a sophisticated license plate database that has been built out by the leftists. And basically, it's an Airtable database. So they submit a form when they believe a vehicle is ICE. They describe the vehicle, they leave the plate number, they explain why they think it's ICE, and then they check a few boxes. Maybe it was seen at the Whipple Federal Building.
I haven't seen the movie, but this movie was Civil War, where you had what kind of American are you? Like, that's what these people are doing. These people are actually stopping you, stopping private citizens and going, what type of American are you? And they have no right to do that, by the way. They have zero right. Now, again, I think this is a woke movie, I think, because this is basically trying to paint the military as the bad guys. But that's what these civilians are doing right now. Civilians are doing this.
Maybe it was seen in a convoy. Maybe they saw agents in the front seat. Maybe it was seen during a deportation operation. Perhaps somebody was detained by the occupants of this vehicle, etc.
The person that just asked for a plate check a minute ago that said 218 AF. Yeah, it's a white Chevy truck, pickup truck. Thank you. If you can get documentation, video, or photos of that plate on that car, we can document. Thank you.
That vehicle is then tagged as confirmed ICE, highly suspected to be ICE, possibly ICE or not ICE.
Update on the corner of 32nd and 15th. This Kia, Massachusetts. Folks are whistling at this. It looks like this is a confirmed ICE vehicle. The men inside are...
Joey Saturday, can you please not misspell IDOT when trying to insult me, sir? It's called IDOT, okay? IDOT. It is happening all over the USA, even red states. Just because you're an IDOT does not mean it's not happening. Okay. So can you please, if you're going to insult me, I'm simply asking to spell correctly. I don't think that I'm asking a lot. Okay. So in the future, can you please refer to me as IDOT when you're trying to insult me? Thank you. Have a great day, sir. Thank you.
appear to be ICE, according to the people who are up there.
And no, this is not happening all over the country. It's just not.
Window, they have gators.
That is how the dispatcher, which runs a 24/7 call in each of the signal chats that are dedicated to patrols, will determine how to send people or how many people to send. And they do this in conjunction with a tactic that they call SALUTE, which is an acronym which stands for size/strength, action/activities, location, where it's happening, uniforms, what agents.
This is a professional operation, okay? Not my show. Let's be clear. Not my show. This situation right here, this is a highly funded, highly professional operation. This is not just random people getting together and doing this. All right? It ain't. Not even close. But you know what is not even close? I don't know what that meant. Managed democracy for 50 gifted memberships. Did you, like I said, do you know what is not even close? And I went to this because I got so excited that 50 gifted memberships came in. So I said not even close. You know what not even close is? 50 gifted memberships. What does that even mean? Doesn't even make sense, Jeremy. Thank you for the 50 gifted memberships. And there's only one way to celebrate 50 gifted memberships. Anna, Paulina, Luna in the house. Perfection. Yes, perfection exists right there on this screen. Bam. That is perfection. Like, who can disagree? You can't disagree with that. You can't. Smoke show. 10 out of 10. Not even debatable. All right. Thank you, Managed Democracy. You've been dropping 50s like crazy the last few days. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. All right. David Phillips says IDOT. See, you get it right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like, just insult me properly. That's all I'm asking. Not asking too much around here. Let's continue. This is Cam Higby's YouTube channel.
See, are they with time and equipment? So they know everything about the incident that's happening. They know how many people there are. They know how many agents there are. They know what they're doing, what their activity is. They know where it is. They know what agency they're with. They know the time it happened, and they know what they're rolling with. Do they have tear gas equipment, right? What equipment do they have? Are they in a Bearcat or are they in an undercover vehicle? Do they have tear gas? Do they have 40 millimeter launchers? Do they have their pistols drawn? What is it? What do they have? Each of these roles, the patrols, the dispatch, the plate checkers, etc., they all work in conjunction with each other. The information is funneled to the dispatcher, and the dispatcher sends people. Each of those roles has a training for how to operate in that role, a training that I was able to get my hands on, the manual. Some of the messages in the signal indicated that there is a home base. Somebody indicated that they were leaving their shift and heading back to home base where they were expected. Another message indicated that local police departments were aiding them, talking about potentially the police department impeding ICE. In their legal advice chat, which is basically dedicated to people who have had experiences with federal agents that they deem.
My theory is that all of this stuff, because again, so you have to understand how the internet thinks and how the internet demands response. Guilty is charged as well. I'm of the same mindset, but I have to have perspective. And luckily, I guess I'm old enough to have I know what time was, or I know what things were like before the internet. So I won't result immediately because that's just how the internet works. But when you're able to step back and process it and go, what I believe is happening is that all of this information that's being gathered by independent journalists like Cam Higby and James O'Keefe and, Nick Shirley and God knows who else. There's a ton of them out there. I think all of this is kind of being put into on the back, not the back burner per se, but like in the memory bank, because look at this Fulton County situation. None of us have been focusing on Fulton County specifically, generally speaking, like MAGA and all that. We've been calling for this to happen. We want this to happen and this person. And now suddenly out of nowhere, Fulton County, boom, out of nowhere. And it's like they've been building that up. They've been taking all of the information in. They've been logging all this information. I feel like that's what they're doing in all of these different places. But I personally think right now, outside of illegal immigration, the single most important thing that Donald Trump and the Trump administration needs to focus in on is the election of 2020. That is the most important thing moving forward, in my opinion. You got illegal immigration, which is number one, get that dealt with. But number two is election fraud. The election of 2020 has to be dealt with. People have to be held accountable for that, for this country to move forward. We have to. That is a massive issue. And until that is solved, this country is never going to be on the right track. We will always be one election away from the Democrats coming in and just doing executive orders to wipe out everything Trump has done, and the next Republican, the next Republican. That's got to be dealt with. It has to be. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, "Hey, Jeremy, sorry to make you self-conscious. I listen to everyone at 1.5 speed, not just you. FNT, Tuesday Night's Main Event, you, everyone. Why is this only coming out now? Did this stuff fester under Biden and it's bearing its fangs now? Hail IDOTS, happy Jessica." Well, thank you. I feel a little bit better now, John. I feel a little bit better now. This is all coming out. Well, I mean, yeah, I believe this is like, if you look, I hate to say it because I've said it so many times, and I know some people will dismiss it because it is, I think that Hollywood accidentally told on themselves, but House of Cards is the most easy way to watch what is going on in the world of politics and how dirty and slimy it is. It is the slimiest, most filthy industry there is. And House of Cards, minus the final season, does a great job of showing you just how fucking nasty this world is. It is a bad, bad world. And so a lot of this stuff has been going on for a long time, as long as we know. And so, House of Cards is the Democratic Party. It is. It absolutely is. Bro, House of Cards, literal play put, these untalented fucks won at 2020. Yeah, I agree.
Illegitimate or something, they go to these chats or this chat to report those things and get legal advice from attorneys who are the admins of the chat, one of which we identified, Anna Hall. Within the description of that chat, there are links to Attorney General of Minnesota, Keith Ellison's website for reporting federal agents, and there are also forums for the Democratic Socialists of America where
correct. Just don't watch the final season. So Default Anonymous says, oh, Jeremy's talking about House of Cards again. Let me guess, Interstellar going to be the next topic? I mean, we can talk about Interstellar if you want to, but I want to kind of talk about House of Cards again since it makes you mad. But yeah, I would highly recommend not watching the final season of House of Cards because I've said this before, I'll say it again, no matter how low you make your expectations for the final season of House of Cards, it will disappoint you. It will disappoint you no matter what. Just don't watch it. Don't watch it. See what you did? You got me talking about it more. I was going to stop talking about it.
they report local police departments who might be working with ICE to elected officials. Now, the question here is, if you're reporting a local police officer to elected officials for aiding and abetting federal agents, ICE, that's not illegal. It's not a crime. What do those elected officials, what are they expected to do? Do they penalize the officer? Do they demote them? Do they dock pay? Do they put them on leave? And if they don't, what's the point of doing it in the first place? It seems that elected officials are very likely working with this sophisticated and organized network of what are essentially domestic terrorists whose sole and intent purpose is to impede and obstruct federal law enforcement. And again, in these signal chats, at least the rapid response ones, what they call them, they're not there to organize protests. It's not the point of them. They don't organize protests. In fact, they use part of their emoji code as a broom emoji to sweep.
If you remember, how long ago was it? Was it a No Kings protest? What was it when it was really bad in Los Angeles? What was that? Because there's been so many fucking protests. I think that was even before the No Kings protest, but maybe it was. But what was the one in LA where we had cars burning? You had Waymos burning. What was that? What protest was that? Was that No Kings? Where their cars were burning in LA? Let's see. A lot of you are saying No Kings, but I feel like it was it No Kings? Not Rodney King. I'm talking about in the past year, 6 months ago. So it might have been the No Kings protest. Anti-Doge. Was it anti-Doge? Is that what it was? It's hard to remember with all these idiots. ICE raids. It might have been ICE raids. I can't. But my point being is that look how quickly all of that happened. And we all said, like, none of this is organic. You can't just get people together organically for this to happen. There's got to be some legitimate money behind this, some legitimate organization. You have people showing up with, signs that are professionally made, all of this. Like, this is, to me, this right here is not just about Minnesota. This is showing you how all of these situations get set up. This is a peek behind the curtain. So while it's directed about Minnesota right now, every one of these organized protests, this is showing you a little bit about how this all gets together.
Right? It means delete this message now and basically get out of here. This is not the place for this. That's what the broom emoji means. When people talk about protests in the chats, the broom emoji is tagged on them. They're not supposed to talk about protests because it's not the point of the chats. The point of the chats is rapid response. If you drive around South Minneapolis, where there's the most activity, you'll be hard pressed to find federal activity. They do their operations very quickly, and they're driving around a lot of times. It's very difficult to find them and track them down. And I know that because I did it. I tried to find federal law enforcement activity. Very difficult unless you're in these signal chats that have at any given time at least 75 people in each sector hunting down federal agents. Lots of eyes and lots of people tracking in lots of different places all at once. That's the purpose, is hunting down federal law enforcement and preventing them from being able to do their job. And they're very open about this. It's all that happens in these chats all day. It's sending license plate numbers, dropping intersections, and then people going to those intersections. In fact, our vehicle was tagged as confirmed ICE because we drove right behind former commander, now Chief Greg Bavino's convoy. We were then tagged as having joined a convoy. We actually had the dispatch call pulled up during that whole incident. And, Ford F-150 joins the convoy, confirmed ICE, confirmed ICE. They already thought we were ICE. We were highly suspected ICE.
So I wanted to watch about half the video. I want to give Cam Higbee credit for it, though. So if you guys haven't, go check this is Cam Higbee, and this is a really good breakdown. And he's been boots on the ground, much like Nick Shirley. He's been doing a great job. So if you want to go check his channel out, if you want to watch the rest of this, but he's been doing awesome work. So big shout out to him. He has been doing awesome. I want to show you this really quick because it's just important to understand leadership matters. And you got this right here, okay? Trump has something called aura. Nobody has aura like Trump, okay? Like, look at this. Just people there, and then this kid, that was there that walked up to shake his hand, like just aura. Like no one has it like this guy, okay? Yeah, charisma, aura, all of that. Like just the ultimate Chad. And I say that because I just saw this post where it says Keir Starmer has literally negative aura. It is so true. Like it's just zero aura. Oh my goodness, man. Like he might as well not even be there. Like oh, that's really bad. That's really bad. But yeah, Trump is unmatched when it comes to that, man. He's just like, here's this right here. Like,
this is a tough business to run for president.
I know you're a tough guy, Jeb.
And it's
What was that? Is that a dog? Uh-oh. It's Hillary. Excuse me. 1 second.
No.
I didn't want to.
You cannot take
more energy tonight. I like that.
What do you say to Americans who are watching you right now who are scared?
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say. What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now?
listen, of all the things that Trump has ever said, that might be my single favorite comment that Trump has ever said. What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head? My goodness, dude. What a legendary comment. And he says it while Zelensky is sitting right across from him.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now?
Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
We will. I need water. Help me. I need water. Help. But if I walk left, there's a stair. And if I walk right, there's a stair. And this guy gets up. Where am I?
Anyway, all right, let's see what else is going on here. All right, so Benny Johnson exposes everything the media has told you about Alex Pretti is a lie. This is interesting because before we show this, I've got this right here that I just saw, okay? Check this out. One of the worst people in all of media, Ana Navarro, last night said this about Alex Pretti.
They chose to, they killed the wrong guy, right? Because this is like the perfect guy. Alex Pretti is the guy you would want to date your daughter. The guy you would want your son to grow up to be a decent human being who was serving humanity, serving sick veterans, who is, you know, there is nothing that has been said about that man that isn't wonderful. And so they can't malign him. They can't malign him because we have the videos.
Oh, we definitely have the videos, Ana Navarro. We certainly have the video, as a matter of fact. You said this last night, but unfortunately for you, we do have the video. Oh, yes, we do. This video right here, as a matter of fact.
Look at you! Pepper spray, bitch! Fucking insult me, motherfucker! Fucking people! Fuck you guys! Fucking trash! Fucking trash!
The perfect guy, according to Ana Navarro. The perfect guy. Let's hear what Benny Johnson has to say.
Everything the media told you about Alex Pretti is a lie, including what he looks like. This is Alex Pretti, who brought a loaded...
Dude, that looks just like Nick Rekieta. It really does. I can't believe how much this looks like Rekieta. This is crazy.
Sig Sauer P320 to a physical altercation with federal officers this week. He resisted arrest and fought those officers and lost his life. Now, every American life lost is a tragedy, whether it's gunfire or fentanyl. But what's also a tragedy is when the media lies about these deaths in order to manipulate us, and that is precisely what they are doing with Alex Pretti. They have manipulated his actual photo into this. This is
Is Peretti his name? Is that how we're supposed to say it? I would much rather say Peretti than Pretti. So is it Peretti? Is that how we're supposed to say his name?
AI generated fake person that the media is telling you lost his life tragically in Minneapolis this week. Watch.
The nonviolent bystander by ICE agents in Minneapolis. This time it was 37-year-old Alex Pretti.
That's not a real person. This is an MSNBC broadcast that was seen by millions of people. I can't believe that they did this. They actually changed the image in order to try and create further sympathy, primarily among their female audience. They know this. It's psychological warfare. MSNBC is disgusting for doing this. Imagine if you die for your cause and then somebody at MSNBC decides you're too ugly to be a martyr. We see you, MSNBC. We know what you're doing.
It's so funny. Again, it's really simple. And I heard somebody talking about this earlier. I can't remember. I was watching I had a video playing in the background, but I think it might have been Tim Pool. But like the whole point is just they're trying to make this guy the next Luigi Mangione. I think that's how you say his name, because of all these women that have fallen in love with Luigi Mangione. And that's what they're trying to do to this guy. They're trying to make this guy like a sex symbol and all of that. They're trying to make all these women go crazy over him and worship him. That's what they're trying to do because the media is manipulative as fuck.
You did the exact same thing to Joe Rogan. Just a reminder, Joe Rogan didn't look sick enough in his COVID video, and Alex Pretti wasn't Pretti enough. They're also not telling the full story about who Alex Pretti was. They want you to think that he's simply an innocent nurse who was caught in the crossfire, but that's not true. He was actually a professional agitator who was hunting down ICE agents and actually had broken a rib in a confrontation with federal agents a week before. Yet he was right back out on the streets, this according to CNN. According to Alex Pretti's parents, he had quit his job. He joined some kind of group His parents were worried about his safety. Alex Pretti spent his time hunting down ICE agents. Listen to this.
In this earlier incident, he stopped his car after observing ICE agents chasing what he described as a family on foot and began shouting and blowing his whistle. Pretti later told one of these sources that 5 agents tackled him and one leaned on his back, appearing to leave him with a broken rib.
So if you're doing this, you're not an innocent bystander. Alex Pretti was a soldier, not a civilian. Civilians don't break a rib at a physical confrontation with police and then show up and do it again the next week armed. That's what soldiers do. Who was sending Alex Pretti to these locations in order to get in physical confrontations with the federal authorities? How did he know where federal authorities were? There's a signal chat right now by left-wing agitators that has been infiltrated, and they say that Alex Pretti was in on these chats, following and tracking ICE agents, and was being deployed as more of a mercenary than a nurse. There are even photographs of Alex Pretti confronting federal officers and impeding in their arrests. None of this is to say that he deserved to die, but the media deserves to tell you the truth, that this was somebody who was a paid left-wing agitator and activist, somebody who was working in a coordinated fashion to try and disrupt federal officers and was known to federal officers for physical confrontations.
He absolutely had a lot, like, if you look at the way he behaved with federal agents, especially in the video that released today, he had a lot of confidence that he was going to be able to get away with whatever the fuck he wanted. He had a lot of assurances. His behavior tells you that he felt very confident that his actions, that he would not be held accountable for his actions. So there were some powerful people that were behind him, motivating him, gassing him up, paying him, and giving him the confidence to go out there and do that shit.
This is a man who's totally different from the man they're trying to portray to you on TV. It's still a tragedy, but you need to hear the full story.
Let's see here. Now, I just saw this, but right now, anti-ICE leftists are making massive racket outside of a Hilton hotel in Minneapolis. They are not only believed they're disrupting ICE agents, but don't care about the regular citizens staying there. Well, I mean, that's par for the course for leftists. They don't care about anyone. Good Lord, I can't keep the audio on. Like, this is just, these people are fucking insane, dude. Yeah, that is direct harassment. Like, how else is it not? I just had to turn this shit down. It's just so damn loud. So, like, what a freaking nightmare. And I mean, again, on one hand, like, yeah, I mean, I obviously feel bad for regular citizens that are caught up on this, but again, I have to go back to, this is on your local leadership. This is on your local leadership. If you have a problem with this, then get these fucking people out of office. Local elections are probably more important than national elections in cases like this. Like, local elections, and I guilty as charged as well, but like, I overlook my local elections too. I get caught up in the national stuff, but luckily I live in a red state. But I mean, local elections are the fabric of these, the country and the states that make up the country. And I mean, that's why you have this mess right here. It's not Trump. It's Jacob Fry. It's Tim Walz. I'm looking for the James O'Keefe thing that you guys were mentioning. See if I can find that. Apparently James O'Keefe's got something. Let me look this up and see. James O'Keefe. Okay. So James O'Keefe has this right here. So let's see what's going on with O'Keefe.
So we're in downtown Minneapolis.
What we found, NGOs and nonprofits funded by the government, featuring true believers.
Is the door locked?
Lock the door. Why are you giving us the middle finger?
Our undercover people were inside the mob.
Used to look up Make the Road New York.
Are there chats and stuff? I'm trying to get linked up. Watch out. Here we go. Here we go.
Not press. These guys aren't press.
Like the fact that James O'Keefe is like, it's weird that somebody like him, and maybe it's because he's probably better compensated being on his own, but like somebody like James O'Keefe should be on a national platform so that you can because you have normies out there that still need this information. You have so many normies out there that don't watch the internet. They only watch Fox News or CNN or MSNBC. There's a lot of people that don't have any idea how the internet works. Like we need people like James O'Keefe to be, communicating with those people, the normies in the middle, because he does fantastic work. And he knows how to put the showman aspect of it too. Like he's got that element of showmanship and he knows how to present it to get people plugged in.
Not the fucking
They threw something at me which hit the back of my bulletproof vest.
They're everywhere.
Shut the fucking doors.
Shut the door. Whoa. They threw a frozen ice brick at the car.
Downtown Minneapolis, the day before the shooting of Alex Pretti, they were still protesting Renee Good. The O'Keefe team rolled into town in an SUV with tinted windows. They could not see inside. And what's remarkable is they start cursing at your car merely because it is an SUV, which they all perceive to be feds.
Is the door locked?
That speaks volumes about these stupid fucking people, dude. They're like, they just see an SUV and they're like, fuck you. Yep. That's very, very believable.
Lock the door. Why are you giving us the middle finger?
Right here, buddy. Get the fuck out of here. Here comes the guy. Don't loan. Do not.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
No, don't. Don't. See?
Just don't hit anybody, okay?
Usually I'm pretty confrontational, but we soon realized the only way to deal with these types of White Walkers, or zombies as we call them, is to just not engage.
Roll up your window. Roll up your window now.
Anything else would lead to escalation and violence. It's safe to say that I've never seen anything like this in my life. Just driving down a street will have people scream to you and curse at you and threaten violence. In fact, independent journalist Cam Higbee was nearby and texted me at this time, telling me that trucks, Tahoes, Suburbans, SUVs are an absolute no-go. He advised us to get a Subaru or other mom car.
Good Lord, leftists are such pussies. God, leftists are the biggest pussies in the world. Get a fucking Kia or a Subaru so the leftists don't get mad at you. Oh my God. No, dude, this is so accurate as well. Dude, if these mother effers saw my truck, they would fucking lose their minds. You know what they would, I will tell you, if a leftist in Minneapolis saw my truck, this is what they would do right here. This is the exact reaction you would get from them right here.
Now, President of the United States, President Mr. Trump, for the moment, steps away for the
great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th President of the United States of America.
Oh, man. Good stuff. All right, back to this.
Or Honda, as he said. He mentioned they would bank our license plate. Our undercover people arrived at the tail end of the protest that evening, including myself.
Watchdog, how you doing? What's going on? It's Jay O'Connell, Watchdog. My fiance is a teacher.
Is she? What's she teach? What's she teach?
Special needs.
Where are we going? We're gonna be at Ice Agent. Don't you have a thing to cover your face? Oh, this.
Laughing Man says, Jeremy, you say you're situationally aware. Would you even go near these people? No. When I will not put myself in a situation I can't control, and there's no way you can control this situation. I give nothing but respect to James O'Keefe and Cam Higbee and Nick Shirley. You cannot control this situation at all.
We heard chants of ice out and fuck ice.
Ice out. Ice out. Fuck ice. Fuck ice. Fuck ice. Fuck ice. Fuck ice.
Hopefully the audience will forgive this reporter for participating in these chants in order to fit in. We found teachers, nurses, and union organizers all telling us, we appreciate you, neighbor.
Appreciate you, neighbor. Appreciate you, neighbor. I appreciate you, neighbor. A guy came by before and he stopped here. It was a bunch of young kids and they handed out weed to everybody. Really? Yeah. It was so cool. I gave all mine away.
Right on,
all but a
man.
little bit because I wanted to at least try it. You got anything better than weed? Well, are you a paid agitator? Just kidding.
While many, probably many of you, might think this is all due to some specific centralized funding source, what we found is a hodgepodge of various NGOs and nonprofits loosely tied to.
I think that there's a ton of, and we'll hear what James O'Keefe has to say about it. I mean, but I think that a lot of local people get pulled into this because they want to be part of something. But I think that there's obviously an initial setup from a lot of paid groups and shit like that. But then there's a lot of local people that find out about it and hear about it, and they want to go be involved because they want to be part of something because they have nothing else in their life, and they feel that this is like I guess a community effort for them. Half of them don't even know what the fuck they're getting involved in, and then they get radicalized by it.
Together through ideology, funded in part by the government, featuring 501c3s with nonprofit tax returns, a variety of funding sources. But most of these people we found were actually true believers, there to live and die by their cause.
What is this about?
Yeah, so we're in the closest national organization fighting out ice.
This woman, featured on a hidden camera, is Peggy Wang. Based in Boston, she works at Massachusetts College of Art and Design. Active in the Massachusetts Teachers Association, she participates in pro-Palestinian protests, and her job is currently being threatened for doing so. While this footage is hard to hear, Peggy Wang lists the issues that her organization gets involved in: immigration rights, abolishing ICE, stopping raids and deportations, justice for victims, and getting ICE out of cities like Minneapolis.
Union work. Our unions definitely need to take up the fight against ICE, against genocide, but also fight for reproductive rights, universal health care. The big part of that should be innovative labor, workers' party. We need a real political representation for working people, working class party.
Okay, so is this a party?
We're an organization, we're an independent socialist group.
Independent socialist group. I like that.
God, it's like giving me a headache, but I get it. You know, he's good. At least you got the captions on the screen, but is that X-Ray Girl? Hopefully not.
This other protester we secretly recorded talks about an organization called Make the Road New York. We've never heard of this organization, but apparently they have a budget of $30 million. They talk about one of the speakers that spoke earlier that day, April Veretti. April is the president of the SEIU labor union.
I mean, if you're interested in an immigrants' rights organization, you should look up Make the Road New York.
Make the road New York.
Make the Road.
But who are you with?
I'm just with with the union.
Oh.
Yeah. SEIU, Service Employees International.
We looked at the tax returns of Make the Road New York and found they're a registered 501c3 that file a 990, and they received $16 million in grants.
Good Lord. Nick too shy for $100. Says, I'm getting triggered by the way that car looks. I haven't seen the Democrats this mad since Lincoln freed the slaves. What's your thoughts on Resident Evil Requiem? I just pre-ordered it since Leon Kennedy is in it. Also a $199. Let's freaking go. I haven't played a lot of the Resident Evils recently, but I know Beardo and Mike and others are very excited for it. I need to look into it. Like I said, Resident Evil 4 was the last one, and I don't mean the remake. I mean like the OG Resident Evil 4 was the last one that I was truly invested in. And I know that they've had some really good games recently, and this one, the hype is kind of through the roof for this new Resident Evil. So I'm hoping it's really good. I need to get back into those. I used to love them. I played the first Resident Evil, which is still one of the greatest gaming experiences ever. The OG Resident Evil with the tank controls and everything. I will never forget playing through that game and it scaring the living shit out of me. Some of the greatest moments ever for the OG Resident Evil. But Resident Evil 4 is one of the greatest games ever. And then, like I said, beyond that, I haven't really played a ton of them. Resident Evil 5 I did not like. And so that's why I stopped playing them. But I know they've gotten a lot better since then. But thank you for the $100, brother. But yes, Beardo is super hyped about it. Big time.
As cars drove by, the agitators would ride on top of the cars. One man's spoiler was broken off his car as one agitator tried to climb on board the car.
What happened? What was that? Just accidentally broke his wing on his car. Oh, shit. Oh, they slapped the shit out of that wing right there.
One of the comments they made was, there's no blood here, and there's no Trump people, there's no MAGA people, because if there was, there would be blood.
We had one person. Oh, I had to have you have any ashes trying through here today? Nope, not yet. See any blood on the ground? No, I haven't seen any blood. That's how we know there's no fashion. They haven't showed up. They haven't showed up.
One of the advantages of it being so cold is we were able to cover every single part of our...
It's interesting. So I've been to multiple, I don't know how many Trump rallies I've been to, 3 or 4, maybe. And you go to a Trump rally and you truly see truly the best of America. And you have all types of different people at these rallies, because I know the left kind of thinks that it's just a bunch of angry white people, but it's literally the opposite. You just see every type of person there and everybody's getting along. It's fun. There's great energy. This looks like hell on earth. This looks like absolute hell on earth. My goodness. I would be absolutely miserable in this. And this is why, again, I give credit to the guys that are willing to be the boots on the ground, because this is awful.
Skin. But these conditions were truly dangerous. Many of our DSLR cameras actually froze. Our hidden cameras malfunctioned in minutes because it was so cold.
You make this?
I did. I made it for the Powderhorn Art Festival because I want to melt ice and get them the fuck out of here.
It's not melting. Oh, it's like what? Oh, you know why? Because it's so cold out. Yeah.
And we watched water freeze in seconds. A bottle of water could quickly be turned into a weapon.
I understand, Bunny Mom. Appreciate you.
Weather. Let's
have
see
a good
what
night.
Happens to water.
I knew you guys were going to talk about Peggy Wang. I wonder what kind of nightmare activities her husband enjoys. I knew As soon as I heard her name was Peggy Wang, I'm like, yep, chat's going to go crazy over that one. 8 o'clock says, Jeremy, have you seen MAGA Man by Mr. Reagan? It's pretty good. I haven't seen that one. Golden Nuggets says, had a full-on Karen crash out. Some crazy lady in my apartment tried to steal my laundry. Time shouted, abused me in broken English. I also have a colonoscopy today. So sick of this shit. Well, good luck on that, brother. Hope everything works out. And he also says, sorry to complain, but since my cancer and then 8 months of wearing a colonoscopy bag and all the medical stuff, living in broken UK, I'm feeling like crap. Nothing but love to you and the chat. Well, hey, man, we're here for you. That's what matters, that you know that. So I know you've been dealing with medical stuff for as long as you've been watching, it feels like. So, you know, the chat has your back as always, bro. Keep us posted. Let's see. Is it 1138 YouTube for 10 says, you're damn right. The election is the top issue, and the umbrella over top, which is the border, the Ukraine war, pandemic, the laptop, and every other issue was strategically used to affect. Correct. Yes. Thank you. I'm glad we're on the same page on that one. Got that one. Make sure I'm not behind. Okay, here we go.
See how fast that freezes. 1, 2, 3. It's already frozen.
That's crazy.
On our second day, January 24th, something happened that we never anticipated.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
There was a second shooting. We were only a few miles away when that happened. There was just a shooting. And any updates that you've seen while you were sitting there, you guys reading the news?
The biggest updates that we have is that the mayor just announced that you need to decide what side you're on. Either you're on the side of Minneapolis or you're on the side of the federal government.
Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets!
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Around noon local time, when people started to descend, walking down the street, mobs of people appeared out of nowhere, all walking in the direction of the shooting. We wondered, where did these people come from and how did they know so quickly to mobilize? Our undercover people were inside the mob.
I can't believe this happened again. I drove down from Colorado to come yesterday. We were going to leave today, and then all that just happened. Like, yeah, of course. I mean,
I know, a good time. I mean, like, I'm glad you guys are here because, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they're gonna keep getting away with this.
Yeah, and are there like group? Are there chats and stuff? I'm trying to get linked up and stuff, and I don't.
Unfortunately, just because you're out of towner, I don't know if I feel comfortable like putting you in chats and shit, just because there's like so many fucking ops.
Oh, I
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The agitator confirms the reporting done by citizen journalist Cam Higbee, who posted a video on X of all the signal chats. The agitator talks about the signal chats. Just seconds later, after having that conversation, our undercover reporter was tear gassed.
Oh, okay.
I don't feel comfortable like.
Oh no, okay, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, I just drove down here, me and my brother, and he's a film editor, so he's filming it. Watch out. Here we go.
You fucking cowards!
Our undercover reporter was invited into the lobby of a nearby apartment complex where the agitators were wiping tear gas off their face.
I can't stress this enough. I am sitting here on the internet with the ability to react to this because people like James O'Keefe are putting their self at risk, him and his team. I would just urge everybody, if you like what they're doing, go support them because this is crazy. I would not be in this situation at all because I do believe that these leftists are completely unhinged and very dangerous. And so I have nothing but respect for these people that are doing this. Mods will be linking to James O'Keefe's Twitter, and I think he's got a YouTube, I think.
Oh, fuck, I was fucking tear gassed.
Yep. I live here if anybody needs in for a second. I got you.
It stays like on your clothes. It burns.
Yeah, you'll smell it on your clothes.
And they'll keep burning. That's great.
Go to upstairs and find.
Right. Can I just sit right here, dude? I just.
Should have brought gimbals though. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure some of them have gimbals. I would think. You know, like we're gonna be actually. The crew is going to be together tomorrow. The G&G crew. We're going to be hanging out at Universal, and we will have gimbals or a gimbal for our setup. But we will be there. I don't know what time. So, but yeah, it's going to be cool.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
Or not to, I think it's Saturday. I'm sorry. Saturday is when we're supposed to do it. It's I think I got to check. I think it's Saturday.
Shame! Shame! Shame!
When that happened, I decided to arrive. We rolled up about 10 blocks from the scene of the tear gas. What struck me was this was not a bad neighborhood. The neighborhood looked like many of the neighborhoods that you live in. And immediately, as we got out of the car, 4 to 5 women asked us who we were with.
I'd love to see some sort of media. Just curious. Like, I would love to see just like your work.
Exposing. Exposed to what's happening.
Yeah, stop taking pictures of me, bro. Stop taking pictures. No, you're not. These guys are not press.
Yeah, we are press.
Saturday. I just had to get confirmation, so I was wrong.
Let's see him. Let's see him.
Eventually, I decided to identify myself as a member of the press, specifically a member of OK Media, as in O'Keefe Media. I even had a press badge.
Hand it to us.
If it's real, just hand it to her.
Yeah, no, it's right here.
No, we'll give it back.
These guys are not press. I looked up OK Media. It's from Portugal. They're not from Portugal.
Bizarrely, the agitator claimed that OK Media was Portuguese.
I looked up your fucking website. It's all Portuguese. And none of their work is political at all.
What's fascinating about this interaction is the statement from the agitator, quote, "They're not political at all."
So let me understand this, that the protesters are able to ask questions of anyone they want and ask for identification and ask for proof and ask for all that. But law enforcement is not allowed to ask for that same thing from people. That's interesting, isn't it?
Dawned upon me in that moment was it wasn't a good thing we weren't political. It was actually a liability. If you're not a member of their team, if you don't believe exactly what they believe, you are their enemy. Even if you're neutral, you must be destroyed or killed.
Stop taking pictures of people.
I'm not taking pictures. I'm taking pictures of him.
Stop. Why? What the fuck is the point?
Because we're press.
Tell me the website. Tell me These guys aren't press. These guys are not press.
We are press.
These guys are not press. We're press.
Then they were able to ID me. A woman pulled up my Wikipedia page, which labeled me as a far-right activist, and it went all downhill from there.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That's not good for James O'Keefe. That's a very bad situation. Holy crap. So these people are, again, it's all projection. All right. They are always guilty of what they claim you are. This is the left in every single capacity. If they call you a racist, they are the racist. If they call you a sexist, they are the sexist. If they call you a misogynist, if they call you a Yahtzee, whatever, it's all projection from them.
I don't know.
Not the fucking fan.
Shame.
They threw something at me, which hit the back of my Kevlar plate.
Now, James, I'm not here to critique you. Okay. I'm not here to call you out, but I'm going to have to teach you about how to handle a situation like that, James. Okay. So let me show you a clip right here. Let's look at I don't know, LeBron James, and show you how LeBron James likes to flop. Okay.
No.
So watch how LeBron James does in the NBA. Okay. Here we go.
A complete embellishment by James.
There's actually never been any team that I've played on in my 20 years where.
Yeah. So, just watch LeBron. Okay.
LeBron James here as Paul George gingerly touches the tip of his chest. I'm calling flop here. This one, however, is controversial.
So James O'Keefe should have, at that moment, as soon as that device hit him, he should have just acted like a fucking truck just ran into him. All right. And then we could have got all the right-wing media out there to cover it. He could have been in a neck brace. We could have been talking about the violence of these leftist protesters, and we could have been setting up GoFundMes, and we could have been putting prayers out there. We could have gotten, a few right-wing politicians to cry. It would have been great. It would have been great. Just saying, play by their rules, See, like at the moment this hits him, he just needs to fall down and roll for like 10 feet.
Shame.
They threw something at me, which hit.
Boom. Just like, just completely sell the shit out of it. Go full Shawn Michaels selling it. Do a Scott Hall sell with the Stone Cold Stunner. This is exactly, that's what he should have done right there. Scott Hall, Stone Cold Stunner. All right. It's the greatest stunner sell ever. Okay. So, right here. Okay. This is what Scott Hall, he should have done a Scott Hall sell. All right.
The Stone.
That's what he should have done right there.
Hit the back of my Kevlar plate.
Shame.
My security determined this was an unsafe situation, so we retreated back to the SUV. So the key is when we get to the car, we gotta get in and get out right now, okay? But they continued to follow us. All you can do is merely disengage and try your best to get out.
Yep.
But they follow you, and they don't stop following you. It felt like a horror movie.
Wow.
This agitator attempted to organize an army, recruiting members of the mob to follow us.
Those guys are feds. Yeah, the press. Feds. These are feds. These guys are feds.
Our cameraman actually pulled his mask down to try to show them that we are actually press.
If I was a Fed, I wouldn't take off my mask.
We got into the vehicle and
look at how, have we ever seen MAGA supporters doing anything remotely close to something like this? Literally stalking people. Walking for blocks and blocks and blocks, just stalking one particular individual. This is fucking crazy.
they started throwing projectiles at us, frozen water bottles at us. One hit my security in the back of the neck.
I am shooting. Shoot. I'm shooting. Whoa. Where's this about? We're fucking pressed. We're pressed. Do you know what the First Amendment is? Go.
Now, to be fair, because I know there's going to be people who are like, Jeremy, we definitely saw what MAGA is capable of January 6th. You are correct. The guided tour of January 6th.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the U.S. Capitol building. If you've joined us today for the insurrection, please make sure you pick up a promotional leaflet on the way in, stay inside the safety cordons at all times, and if you get lost, speak to one of our Capitol police officers. They'll be sure to point you in the right direction. And be sure to set aside a little time today to join us for some insurrection activities, including our photography tour, our fancy dress competition, and have a go on our climbing wall. But don't forget those safety ropes. And I've now received the results of our fancy dress competition. The winner today is Jacob Chansley. That's Mr. Jacob Chansley. If you could report to your nearest Capitol Police officer, they'll be sure to give you your prize, a guided tour of the building.
The music is so good. It's so good. All right, returning to this.
Go. Do you support the First Amendment? Do you support the First Amendment? Yes or no?
I'm against fucking ICE. You guys are yelling and throwing things. We're not doing nothing.
You just assaulted us. We're preps.
We are. We're trying. All right. No problem, bro. I got you.
Hey, it's just everywhere. Look, turn around.
They're everywhere. Shut the fucking doors.
Shut the door.
Shut the fucking doors.
Crazy, man.
They threw a frozen
ice
brick at the car.
Take off your vest again quickly. Yes, I'm gonna fucking bring a lot. Here, throw it in the back.
Yeah, I don't know. It's this. You could get killed, man. You could get killed. There's no First Amendment anymore in this country. No, there's not. It's over. Game over. Now there's a cop. What is that? It's an ambulance. Okay. Yeah, let me get out of Dodge and regroup. But this is not safe. This is not safe for you and I. Okay. So we were 1 became 20 became 100. They just started assaulting us. They started attacking us, and I think my realization is that we are headed towards a civil war in this country. There is no way that's going to be avoided.
I think, and again, not hating, but he's being a little over dramatic. But I understand he's in the moment as well. But like this is happening on a couple of streets in a very, very blue city. That's just not the case. So I don't buy that idea at all. I know Tim Pool's been pushing that for years, but like I don't buy that idea at all, that we're not heading for a fucking civil war.
Total lawlessness. They don't care that we're press.
Hey, Geeks and Gamers play with the raid. Holy crap. I'm a huge fan of Geeks and Gamers. Holy crap. Thank you guys. Man, you guys are the best. Geeks and Gamers is the greatest gaming community in the history of the internet. It's an honor to be, included in the 199. We got a raid over on Rumble as well. Holy shit, I have made it. Drunk 3PO is my favorite.
Anybody who is not on their side will be destroyed, killed. Everyone's afraid. No one wants to expose anything. It's all about greed and money and power. People need to wake up because, that's what the future looks like. That's the future.
I really, okay, again, when it's just like professional wrestling, okay? When it's believable, it's believable. This conversation between James O'Keefe and Cam Higbee, 100% is theatrics. It's 100% theatrics. Like, this is all this is. It's like, I really need a good sound bite for this video that I'm going to be doing. And so that's all this is.
I felt like we're in a movie. Perhaps Children of Men would be the closest metaphor I could see. Zombies attacking the car, attacking you. Cartel guys, you should put in the line in the sand. Cartel was running away from me when I pulled up with a press vest in California. But here, they throw bricks at the police. They don't give a fuck. They're just gonna come for everyone. Oh, I'm just gonna protect my portfolio Make sure my kids are safe behind my picket fence. Okay, for another few years that'll work. Eventually they'll come for you. We went back to our hotel. My undercover reporter found spotters from their groups spying on us, following us, and reporting back to their signal chats. We have to get out of the hotel.
James, go back.
Okay, I need you with me.
Yeah, let's go.
We have to get out of the hotel. They got spotters in the hotel, so now we got to get just out of Minneapolis.
Dude, I would not go anywhere near this shit, man. I just wouldn't. This is crazy. Like, this all goes back to with the whole who was that the hotel that denied the federal agents. What was that hotel in Minneapolis? It was a branded hotel. Was it Hilton? I think it was Hilton. And at that point in time, that should just showed you exactly what this was all about. But I do believe that it's kind of like Pawn Stars a lot of ways. There's a lot of James O'Keefe is a very, very savvy media guy. He is not hating at all. But I do think that he is over dramatizing this a lot. And I'll remember this from what was this? James O'Keefe, this was like a couple of years ago. James O'Keefe made this big hoopla about how his life was being threatened on, like he made this whole big thing about Twitter about how he was being threatened. And then the very next day he had a party in Miami, like a big party full of influencers. And I was like, wait a minute. You've been saying on Twitter that your life is like under attack and you're being threatened. And then the next day or like the weekend, that like a couple days later, he had this massive big time, party in Miami full of influencers and all that. A bunch of people in the chat remember. Yeah. And so at that point I was like, dude, like, come on, man. Like, are you like the right wing Mr. Beast? Is that what you are? Starting to feel like it. But again, does great work. I'm not hating, because one thing you can't fake is him being boots on the ground. So regardless of how I feel about the theatrics and the over dramatization and all of that, he's still on the ground in a very hostile territory and he's getting amazing footage. So that is the bottom line on that.
Come on.
We soon realized we had to change hotels and moved to another location 30 minutes away.
They took 3 pictures of us and then now they're changing lanes and trying to act like I didn't see them. You want to slow down so we can figure out what's going on? Yeah. Okay, he's slowing down too? Yep.
Dude, that's wild.
Yep.
People were following us on the freeway. Reporter Cam Higbee also reported that people were following him.
But they turned with us. Yep, here they come.
White Chevy.
Right here. Chaos for Order says Jeremy still speaks as performatively as any of them. Okay, hold on. It's not like I highlight comments on my stream in order to then entertain the audience, pretend that I'm a badass on the internet so I can get super chats. It's not like I do that. So can you please miss me with the accusations? There's nothing performative about this, okay? I go to the grocery store and I talk like I'm talking right now. I am the same person everywhere I go. The same person. I don't do anything performative on the internet. I would never do anything performative on the internet. How dare you accuse me of performative behavior on the internet? Please do not accuse me of things that are clearly not true. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Silverado with the newly changed plates with the coexist sticker on the back. We're on Irving and Lake Street. We seem to be the only commuters following. Just wanted to give an update on our location.
We aren't ICE. We are not ICE. We're not ICE. We're not ICE.
I'm showing my face. I'm not.
We've come you. We're not ICE. Yeah, they've been following us for over an hour. We're just letting them know, and they.
Not in a nice vehicle, right?
Jack Murphy. Right. Jack Murphy. It's Jack Murphy, everybody. The return of Jack Murphy. You thought he was done, but just when you thought 69 for 69 was no longer on the table, Somehow Jack Murphy returned. Let's freaking go. Heartfelt.
Truck, get the fuck out. Why? Because you need to go. Confirmed ICE. Get the fuck out.
Confirmed ICE through who? We're American citizens. We're not ICE.
The people that you're abducting. Get out.
It was incredible to see how people act when they're stopped. It was impossible to convince them that you are not ICE. If you are not them, you are automatically ICE. If you don't hear your name called, they most likely think you're a Fed. That's actually better than them thinking that you're James O'Keefe. It's better that you're a Fed than James O'Keefe, according to our source. But again, if you're thinking about, don't try this at home, but if you do, come here to Minneapolis, get on the freeway, exchange the SUV or the pickup truck for a Subaru.
That's the funniest shit. That is the funniest thing through this whole 20 minutes so far that we've been reacting was the fact that leftists get offended if you have an SUV or a truck. Get a mom car, get a Subaru, get a Prius, get a Mazda Miata. Like, what the hell? That is the funniest shit ever. Oh my God.
You want to look like your mom. You want to look like you're a teacher. You want to look like you got that union sticker on the back of your car.
Well, you want to look like a teacher. You want to look like a teacher. Okay. I certainly agree with that. Until of course, MSNBC needs to promote you. Okay. Once you actually die and they need to promote you, suddenly you don't need to look like a teacher anymore. You need to look like the ultimate Giga Chad. You need to be ripped and shredded from head to toe. That's how it works. I don't make up the rules. That's how the media operates. Okay? So just telling you, I don't make up the rules. I just follow them.
You get that union sticker put on your car. You do not want to have an SUV like us. Lesson learned. Let's get inside the hotel.
Right here. This is what I was looking for. This is what the media is telling you is Alex Pretti now. Okay? So he just keeps evolving. Somehow Alex evolved even more. So here you have it right there. Alex Pretti is prettier every day. So there you have it. Okay.
Our next hotel, my security detail showed me a text message that he had received from what appeared to be a burner number threatening to kill us if we do not vacate the city of Minneapolis within the next hour. We just got this message and it says, we know that you're in Minneapolis. You're with O'Keefe and his crew of Nazis. You're in a white Ford license plate. They actually wrote the license plate down from Florida. You have 1 hour to leave or you're dead. You have 1 hour to leave or you're dead. We're going to contact law enforcement, DHS, and the FBI. And we're going to try to get out of here safely so we can bring the news to you. As I left Minneapolis, I was very shaken by what I witnessed. And all I could do was write down my thoughts as I awaited my production team to go through the hidden camera footage and identify some of the folks we spoke with. And what I realized is that self-preservation is the enemy of the American people. In the Peloponnesian War, Thucydides says, the strong do what they can and the weak suffer what they must. There is absolutely no accountability in our country for those who are actually engaged in wrongdoing.
Well, there's no, and thank you for the 20 gifted memberships. Dropped 200 yesterday, 20 gifted memberships today. That's what's up. There is no accountability in blue cities. This is a very, very, very important distinction. You can't get away with this in Florida. You're not going to. All right. So that's just the bottom line. There's no accountability in blue cities.
And everything collapses when power disparities grow. Justice, as you want it, can only exist when there are consequences. But why be just if in
Texas would never stand for that? Texas would never stand still for that. Well, except for Austin, but you are correct, generally speaking, from what I've heard. I don't really know much about Austin, but I've heard it's become the Los Angeles of Texas.
Justice pays better. The Minneapolis police stood down. They probably stood down because there was no incentive for them to stand up. People are only just if they're being watched. And you might say that this report and investigative journalism doesn't matter if there are no consequences. But remember that justice only happens.
So we'll leave it there. Go follow James O'Keefe. That's over right here on OMG Media. Check him out. He's doing great work. And yeah, man, I have nothing but respect for James O'Keefe and the people, Cam Higbee, Nick Shirley, all these other guys that are doing a phenomenal job. So a big shout out to them. All right. Thank you for the 20 gifties. Let's see. Jeremy, everyday MAGA supporters have these strange things called jobs. We don't have time to play grab ass on the street all day. You are correct about that one, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. Show me your papers. The left. Yes, that is pretty much it. It's so funny. It's so funny. They have literally become everything that they say they hate. David becomes a new member. Thank you. Appreciate it. David says, let's see. Where'd it go? I lost it. Jackson says, FAFO. There's managed democracy for those 50 gifted memberships. Let's see. Cam Higbee looks like Tim Pool and H3's love child. That's just scary. Thank you for the 199. Eric says, missed APL. Please put her back again. QBG lost weight. You know what? I don't think that's a problem. One more time. It can't hurt. It can't hurt to see Anna Paulina Luna one more time, can it? It can't hurt. Nope, it can't. There it is. Okay. There it is. You're welcome, chat. You're welcome. Dragon says, we used to this method on reporting troop strengthen for salute in the military. TJ says, been watching your older cast. It was ice raids. Okay. Ice raids. Okay. Thank you. Miki Ventura says the gays in LA. Rob says, if you want a serious look at behind the finance curtain, go check Data Republican. She has some in-depth analysis of all the NGOs and leftist groups and how the money moves. Thank you. JDT 199 says, I'm ready if we're headed there. Let's see. Narco says, watch the first 2 episodes of Landman with my very liberal wife on her suggestion. Loving it so far. Didn't expect it to get so fiery. Looking forward to more DEI crushing pro-America content. It's so great. It's such a great show. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I can't wait for you to get further in the show so you can let me know what you think. But yes, highly recommended show. Thrash Fi says, Phil was on the roof as a child during Rodney King. Labco says, if it's any consolation, Jared, I listened to you at 0.25 speed because you got that purty mouth. Hope that compliment makes your day. I am very uncomfortable right now. I'm so uncomfortable, I'm going to be performative on the internet for the first time ever. Let's see. Let me see. Jeremy, can you help Hypnotic out in any way possible? His channel's been taken down by YouTube. What? There's no way. Hold on. There's no way Hypnotic got taken down. Hang on. Let me see. I'm gonna look up and see. I'm trying to look on Twitter right now, so to see. The channel taken down completely. I guess so. Hang on. So what I have here. Hey, Team YouTube and YouTube, your AI is out of control again. You struck my Saturday live stream for hate speech when at the timestamp was given to discuss Fable and the history of the franchise and gameplay elements was in game. Please look in this and remove your mistakes. So he's got a strike. Let me see. Is his channel still there? Hang on. Okay, well, his channel's still there, so they've given him a strike. Okay, so his channel is still there, right there. The strike, for instance, now if it's a strike, that's something he's just going to have to appeal with them. So I'll talk to him though, see if there's anything I can do to help. But yeah, so a channel taken down as a whole different ball game. Getting a strike, that is, listen, I mean, the AI stuff on YouTube is horrible right now. I'm scared to death of it. We've had some issues on several of our channels, and I feel like I'm in the freaking Matrix right now. I feel like I'm Neo just dodging fucking bullets. It's crazy right now. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll hit him up and I'll see what's going on. Roger says, genuine curiosity. When you're a public commentator on heated topics, what's it like mentally to be both visible and private at the same time? Well, I mean, like for me, I mean, I just don't talk about my public. When I first got on YouTube, you know, I talked about like my family and stuff, and I learned that was a big fucking mistake. Just left that alone. But I am very like private when it comes to my family and my personal life and all of that, because it's just not helpful. And I try to keep it, you know, just with what's relevant on the internet. I try not to give the internet too much information about, you know, what's going on in my personal life. Because it's not really a good move in my opinion. Some people do that. A lot of people think that, you know, putting their everything out on Front Street is the best. That's the best, I guess, move for them. But I do not recommend it in any way, shape, or form. I think that is a massive mistake. You know, and so, but yeah, I don't know. Like, so again, to answer your questions, like, I keep my head down when it comes to stuff like a lot of the internet drama. When I first started out, I used to fight with everybody online because it was fun and I enjoyed it. And that was when I was, you know, building up my following. And then it started to become where people were intentionally wanting to get my attention. Like they felt like it was, and I'm not a big fucking deal, by the way. I'm just saying, like, this is how people's perception was. But now, like, people want me to respond. And if somebody truly wants me to respond and I can see that they want me to respond, I will not respond. I will ignore them forever because I know that ignoring them is the best response possible. And I try not to get into too much back and forth. So I don't think that's beneficial at all. So there's different layers to it, though. So commentating on divisive topics, I go viral all the time on Twitter for people hating on me, calling me out. I don't give a fuck. I just kind of ignore it. But the more you engage with it, the more you motivate it to continue. And I just don't engage with a lot of that. Captain J6 says, will you respond to me, Jeremy? Yes, I will. Vault 199 Gaming says, Hilton Hotels should sue the rioters. Find a way. Brad Mann says, none of the elections up here are real like 2020. Ministry of Frontex says, biology can run around there with the MAGA hat. You mean biology? And they wouldn't attack him because of his Prius and his gay boy nature. P. Puffin, that would say, hey, brother, birthday today. Turned 33, 2025, tried to bury me, but the age of Jesus flipped history. I'm claiming my base comeback. Your takes are fire. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Happy birthday. Thank you. Let's see. Where did that one go? Thrashfight says that Ryan loved Resident Evil 5. Can't put my finger on why. My ex-wife says, I'm a caregiver and the union that has a contract with my job is SEI. I don't know what you're trying to say there. But thank you. 8 o'clock says, is that lady about to say go back to Argentina? Ministry of Wrong Things says the caption is hilarious. Agitator. That's an agitator right there. Vault 199 says, what is January 6th? Some celebrity birthday? It's a national holiday. Galactic Troll for 20 says, blue cities are like Disney girl bosses. No accountability. Let's go. Thank you for the 20. TPR says a performative behavior tax. Thank you. Let's see. Another performative behavior tax. Hold me, Jeremy. I'm scared. Did you see Dr. Disrespect versus Highguard situation? I did. Dr. Disrespect just annoys the shit out of me. I thought it was kind of funny, but also kind of cringy. So Whiskey Tango says, random, Jer, I just found out that the actress who played the daughter on Landman also played the young, cute blonde Elizabeth Dutton on Yellowstone. Yes, she's in a lot of Taylor Sheridan stuff. So, yep. Captain J6 says, thank you, Jeremy. Hail all. I'm so glad that you cover these topics between you, Jay, and Ripa. Have a lot of perspective with mostly logic. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Bronsonite says, as a brown man, I'm highly offended and disgusted with those racists protesting my brown brothers and sisters. The majority of CBP and ICE are being non-white and all. Lol. I know lots of them. Let's see. Beastie Man says, this is the best timeline we live in. Hail MAGA, Cobra Cast, and the 199. Decrepit says, I love you, but Fuentes called it in 2024. Trump is softening the hammer on immigration. He's moving the goalpost for the midterms. Just criminals. Listen, man, if you believe that he's genuine, then that's fine. I think he's funny. But he also wants to support Kamala Harris. He thought it was better if Kamala won in 2024. Like, I don't know what you do with that. But Fuentes is funny as shit. I think he's a legit funny person, and I find him to be completely entertaining, but I don't take him seriously. Soldier On says, ICE has done a pretty good job. The Gonzo Sean says, hi, I'm Alex Pretty. Welcome to Jackass. Dean H says, just getting here, so I don't know if anyone brought this up, but today is the 40th anniversary of the Challenger disaster. That was crazy when I was a kid. Fentanyl Floyd says, there's no common ground with leftists who don't have a grasp on basic facts and live in fantasy reality they have created in their own warped heads. Oh, says Reddit isn't going to have any. I got that one earlier. Dark Chaz says, love watching Figcast 199. David says, I'm the realist in the snake pit. Thanks, Jeremy, for the content. Hail the 199. And we are done. 3.5 hours, boys. 3.5 hours in the books. Appreciate all of you. We will have a busy day tomorrow, so we'll see how it all goes. But yeah, should be a lot of fun. I can't wait. But I really appreciate all of you hanging out for this whole time. Coopster says, Jeremy, no joke, you missed my super chat earlier. Don't fucking lie, Coopster. Did I really? Don't do this to me. Now I got to go look. I don't believe you, Coopster. I'm scrolling back. Coopster, you lying piece of shit. I don't see it. If you did, it's not there, but I don't see it. So, I respect it though. All right. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a good evening. Check out geeksandgamers.com. The crew is doing a great job over there. They are putting out a ton of content on the website, and I really do appreciate all of them and all the work that they are putting in. They're doing great. It's awesome to see. There's the website right there. So there they go. There's a story about the drinker. You got Hollywood caught in an awkward moment as their worst enemy fights to bring movie making back to LA. And that would be one Donald J. Trump. So anyway, go check them out. Really appreciate it. You guys have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night for more Cobra Cast. Bye, everyone.